25%.
All right, we're live, and I'm gonna turn
Damn.
on Craig. All right, Craig is here.
Now recording.
Now recording.
What about Heroes Hush? Is he joining us tonight?
Where's that? Where's that boy? That man.
He's out here. Why?
Paleo is a 70-year-old man.
Hale's gonna be so weird when he's 74.
He's not gonna look any different. Like Paleo
Paleo.
stopped aging. Like in, I don't know.
When he was 60.
He doesn't look any different than he did when I first met him.
No, it's like Paleo's like that. Rayson said you won't get this reference, but he's like the red woman from Game of Thrones, where like he has to like pray to a dolphin amulet to get his youth back.
Oh man.
Posted that we're live.
Yeah, I'm actually 187.
Oh.
Called it.
Damn, played Leo.
Played Leo. Oh man.
Say what?
I'm looking at the food posts already, and I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble.
Matt might be here later. He's actually with his girlfriend up in Wairika.
And why is he not here?
Well, I think he's
I don't want to hear
taking
nothing.
her out to dinner right now, so he'll be.
Tell him to cut it
he'll
short.
be around later.
The show's starting.
No.
Yeah, this is important.
I thought Matt cared about us.
Yeah, I got that impression once.
Only once.
Well, should we kick off the show?
Yeah, well, while you guys kick off the show, I'm gonna go to the bathroom too. So.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna use the bathroom real fast too. Don't start just yet.
Okay.
Go ahead and start. It's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen,
How's everybody in the chat doing?
how's the chat doing?
Should I turn up our microphone a little bit? Talk real quick, babe.
Hi, check.
You're
1,
always
2.
like twice as loud as me.
It's because I project. I get in trouble for it whenever we have dinner with my... Should we go to Lazy Dog tonight?
No, we should probably go to Chick-fil-A because we didn't get to eat it last night.
Do you want Chick-fil-A?
I do. I've been wanting Chick-fil-A for like the past 3 days
Aww.
since we got home
Why
from
didn't you
brunch.
tell me?
I did.
Just now.
No, I told you that on Monday I was wanting Chick-fil-A, and then we decided to do Chipotle because it was closer to home and more convenient for you because you had to edit.
Oh, you're right. And
then
then we were gonna
tried
go
to
last
do it
night.
yesterday, and then we didn't get to because the line was stupid long and we had places to be. And
I'm back.
I'm gonna do it.
Someone,
Chick-fil-A.
Chloe the Unicorn says, I just slept for 13.5 hours after the very long trip home from BronyCon. And I'm like,
Damn.
I've slept for 13.5 hours total since I got home from BronyCon.
You've been slacking, dude. I've been looking at your channel, and the lack of content is just. It really proves that you didn't really ever care about this fan to begin with, did you?
No.
I
mean,
thought you were one of the more sentimental, emotional ones who actually had heart and character. But I guess that medal belongs to others.
Yep. There are certain people who truly carry the show and their morals with merchandise that needs to be sold by other people. All right. Ready? Oh, Laura's not back yet. Dang. Dang me.
Well, let's see who's on the chat. Let's talk with the chat.
How long have y'all slept? So let's see. First roll says 10.5 to 11 hours after BronyCon.
This isn't good. I don't want to see how much everyone else slept. I haven't been sleeping much because I've been editing. I don't think I've gone to bed before
Oh man,
1:30.
Go to fucking sleep, guys.
it's been really rough for me as of late because
Here we go.
I went to bed last night around 12. I woke up around 7:30 to have to use the bathroom. I sat in bed for about half an hour, and I realized, I can sleep for another 2.5 more hours, so I'm back to sleep. I didn't have anything until 10 a.m.
What a life.
It was, then
Let's
I,
say
had
Nora,
Taco Bell for lunch.
after you came home.
Huh?
What's that?
Nah, nothing. I'm talking to Nora in the chat. Because she asked a question. Are we talking after we came home or after the con?
Well, let's kick this
I
off.
feel like that's both.
Let's do
Kick
this.
this pig.
We haven't started yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Semi-Perfect Podcast. It is August 7th, 2019, and this is the first podcast since BronyCon. The last BronyCon. And my voice is still recovering.
Your voice is nice, good and growly.
If you get the Regal Rewards card, you'll be able to watch movies forever. Sorry. Good morning. No. Good. What the
Good
hell?
evening.
Whatever. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to all of our live viewers, and of course to those that listen on delay. Joining us so far here today, but we anticipate others. We have Paleosteno.
Badeno.
We have
It is Salio Peno.
we have Labdora.
Be strong. Be strong.
We have Sparrow.
The pizza
Yeah.
place?
Borrow?
I'm here, yes. Hi.
We have K Sarah.
Que sera. Que sera, sera. Yes, I'm here.
And I am AB Dubdist.
And we also have, who do we have? I've been pointing at them for like the past
we
minute.
have Zero Hashi.
You've been having a stroke, man.
I don't know. We do
Also-
have a super chat though,
Yeah.
and that will always be better than a stroke. Exiodyne says, "Hi, just wanted to say you all made my first BronyCon the best one. All of you don't stop being perfect and keep making us all laugh. We love you, Christian. #Sarah, Sarah, Sarah."
Can I one more time? I love how much like Christian radiates positive energy. Like
Yeah.
it, because when it comes to these conventions, I've been to so many of them, and I see a lot of faces and I hear a lot of names. But when I see Christian smile, I'm like, hey, it's Christian. And I think that's just swell. He leaves a good impression on me.
Pretty much cannot forget him.
Yep, Christian, we all pretty much
Unforgettable.
echo Saber's sentiments there. You've always been awesome at these conventions, and we really appreciate it. So, and thank you for the super chat. So, I'm hungry, which means we should jump right into food posts.
All right, so so
Oh,
we've got it.
let's-
I've got it workaround. The Twitter thing wasn't working. I couldn't get the dang thingy to put on the chat. But I've
what?
got- hold
The
on.
dang thing, dang,
It's all just like a blank
Are
screen.
both of you having strokes tonight?
Yeah, I mean, can
got
you blame us?
that Riz going sushi sauce squishy, and you're like bang 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 bang.
Beep, bap, ba, dee, bee, dang.
We haven't had
All
much
right,
sleep.
all right, hold on. Let me make this screen big.
Just sleep more. Do what
Oh,
I do
there we
and just
go.
sleep for 8 hours.
Now it
going
fucking
to.
does it.
Hey, it's working.
It has to be full screen. Stupid.
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 Poot
Oh,
it.
let me scroll down.
All right.
July.
Stop it.
All right, here we go.
Okay, there
Here
we
we go. Anime Guy 01 with the opener. Here's some buttery popcorn.
go. Nice.
I remember when we went to go see like the My Little Pony movie in 2017,
Yeah.
and Loyal bought like this massive bucket of popcorn, and then
There we go.
never used it
It's
again.
gonna be
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it was huge. It was like the equivalent of like a fucking like, I don't know, like a bucket you use to dump out a fire on a stove or something. I don't know.
Well, it's those reusable ones like in that picture, and he just left it at my house, and we just used it.
Sarah, what's the next food post?
From Taylor Bow, Cajun jambalaya pasta sounds about right for tonight's semi-perfect pod. And it looks delicious. Look at that shit.
It's like a Chef Ramsay.
Yeah, you
meal.
got the you got some good plating. I mean, you got the
Chef Ramsay.
seasoning. Someone should do chef. Someone should do a Chef Ramesses from like Prince of Egypt.
Oh my god.
what? Okay. Beautiful.
Oh, here we go. This also looks like a Chef Ramsay plate,
It's
if I
got
may say
North-
so.
North Brony says battered sausage and chips. Sorry I wasn't able to see you guys at BronyCon. Didn't get the money in time. I hope you all had fun and
Aw.
have the convention a good send off.
Oh,
Look at this Chef
Well-
Ramsay plate.
Well, Norse Brony, hopefully you'll be able to make it to another pony convention in the future, and if not a pony convention, a convention where we all will be at. So the future still goes on.
Oh, Saber, do you want to present the next food post?
Yeah. So during my time at BronyCon, I was presented a gift from Final Draft, who lives in Japan. He's currently visiting the States, and he brought me this bottle of sake from his, like, I almost said village, like he belongs there. He doesn't. He doesn't belong anywhere. He sucks. But he brought a bottle of sake that was like in the region where he lives, and it's like beautiful and silky and just got this fresh taste to it. And I've been sipping on it tonight, and I've been enjoying the hell out of it. It's delicious, and
What is
I'm
sake?
so glad. Sake is when you get a samurai to come into a bottle and distill it.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh.
And it.
I
made
don't
from
know.
rice?
It's like a rice spirit, like how like different
Goes.
alcohols come from different like plants and
Yeah, like
things.
wine is from
just
grapes and.
Yeah.
is the bottle
Beer.
from Banjo Kazooie? Because it says Jinjo.
Shut up, nerd. He'll
You know
beat
what?
you up.
It probably is. There's no other explanation.
What's even...
Only real Kazooie fans. There it is. But no, it's really good, especially chilled. I've been enjoying it. And that little cup right there was also a gift. And it was like, apparently it's like this 80-year-old like cup from like World War II, like from Imperial Japan. It's
Wow.
pretty cool.
Well, not to mention, for those that don't know, you did a very cool thing for draft. He wouldn't have been there without you.
And it's no big deal.
Yeah.
I'm glad he made it. I'm glad that he was able to, we were able to spend time with our friends, which like, because like I it wouldn't have been the same without him. Like he got us, like he got me into the fandom and helped me get involved in the convention circuit, and it would have felt empty without him there. So yeah, that was money well spent as far as I'm concerned. I'm glad he was able to show up and see him have a good time, and also gets to hang out in the States and see his family in Minnesota, and then hang out with Casey and Henry later this month or next month in LA's. And maybe you can see him, Race and Sarah. Who knows?
No.
No, don't do that.
Let's not even bring that up. Sarah, who's the next one?
The Nikki D saying no food. I ate a while ago. Instead, I'll be working on my con vlogs. It was great seeing you at BronyCon, and I'm glad y'all enjoyed the tasty cakes. If any of y'all in the Philly, South Jersey area, let me know, and I'll hook you up. And they're watching the Semi-Perfect podcast from their Switch.
Nice.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
I would like to go to Philly to visit Too Many Games. That's a con that goes on there, gaming convention.
My family lives in that area.
Awesome.
And there's some really good bread from that area too.
That's true.
All right. You want to say the next one?
Yeah, it's from.
Okay, we've
It's from.
hit each other with chairs.
It's from Nora Mermaid. Says, "Hey SPP, I'm a klutz and bonked my head at work yesterday. Now I'm
Oh.
recovering at home with stitches on. Dang,
What?
stitches
Oh my
in my head and a
God.
tetanus shot. The face is hiding the stitches. Anyway, I'm noshing on M&Ms and Coke to hide my PGD and PCD. Miss you guys so much."
Post Gabe depression.
Yep.
I get it now.
Hey, that's
Oh,
racist
man.
Coke. What do you have
It
racist
is my
Coke?
Coke.
Yeah.
What does Nora trying to
Racist.
do to me?
Well, I'm sorry you bonked your head.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, on the mention of stitches, as you can see to the right, Pizza Hut is closing 500 dine-in restaurants.
Yeah.
Who
Oh
cares?
my god.
Well,
Right.
they're sit-down locations.
Has anyone been to those? I have.
Negative.
The last time I went to a dine-in Pizza Hut was in like 1996 or something. I don't know.
Chuck E.
Fucking-
Cheese.
In the 90s, yeah, when I was a kid.
with our
I'm
with our
sorry.
pinkies up as we sip our orange sodas. We're like, yes, we.
I
Run.
mean, my dad's so fucking weird because I remember like we go on car trips and he'd be all like super excited about these low tier buffets. Like we're driving down the road and there was a sign for like a buffet KFC. And he was like, "Hey Steven, you want to go get buffet KFC?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." And we got in there and all the trays look so pathetic. Like there's something really gross about like seeing metal trays that hold food sitting in I'm sorry, not even hot, lukewarm water. It's disgusting. Buffets in general are disgusting. If you ever read a Reddit thread about like the worst restaurant experiences, you'll see it riddled with buffets and people shoving their hands in food or putting it back on on the trays. Done. Not. But I'm done with buffets. For the rest of my life, I'm done.
Yeah.
So take that.
Jesus.
Well, next up we got
Hey,
Laura.
Why don't we have Laura present the next food post?
Oh, thank you. I got a mini pecan pie from the
Aw.
grocery store today. And on the box, it was like, nutrition facts, serving size, 1/2 of a pie. And I'm like, don't even start with me. Like, I'm not going to eat this whole fucking thing in one sitting. Like, it's a mini pie. It's obviously made to be one serving.
Serving size is just, I swear, they just actually make you feel bad.
I was really offended by it.
It's
but
how
not
they-
so offended that I didn't buy it and then proceed to start eating it.
Oh, I see the glass that you're drinking out of. Oh, a Club 33.
I do like that you also included that part of this delicious meal were dairy pills
Yes.
that were not pictured.
Enjoy your dairy pills.
Aw.
Yeah, I need those so I can...
Whenever anyone laughs like that, I just think of that lady from The Royal Problem. With stupid mouth. I love it.
All right, we got aspiring Canadian with an egg sandwich and a chocolate chip cookie tonight. I very much enjoy their username.
Aspiring Canadian. Now wait a minute, an egg sandwich. I don't know why this is blowing me away because I know I've had one.
Looks like it got Munster cheese on it.
Sarah knows her cheeses, by the way.
I know some cheeses. The cheeses that I
If
sold
anyone wants to
at
know
the
what cheese
grocery
goes
store.
with what, Sarah knows.
I do not exactly know, but it looks like Munster cheese to me. And if you chat, if you're in the chat, let me know if I was correct.
All right. Well, Princess Deadpool says oven is preheating, cooking up some frozen chicken and garlic knots. Furries are all thinking the same thing right now. I tried licking. How do you say that one?
Mjolnir?
Mjolnir?
Yeah.
As an appetizer, but it tastes like pennies. What's Mjolnir?
That's Thor's hammer.
Why do you like that?
Because it's literally right there.
But don't eat that. Not good for your health. Oh, man. Princess Deadpool. What's this one, Sarah?
Mexed or Mexed has
Mex
enjoying some.
Ed.
I don't know. Mexed is enjoying some iced tea.
Good.
Can you say that one?
Citruna Jati. It stands for citrus tea.
Soccer fruit, citronist.
It stands for soccer fruit citronus. It's a Harry Potter spell.
Aw. We've got Rosie Diamond. Rosie Diamond, we are at King's Dominion. Miss you loves.
Oh,
King, I guess that's King's Dominion.
The storm in the castle.
wait,
It
me
kinda
and
looks
Hero
like
drove
a-
past that on the way back.
Did you?
What is it? It looks like a puppet
It's an
place.
amusement park.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, ZD says, got that good old chicken.
Got that chicken.
Which is probably what we're going to be eating. That is a big drink.
That is a huge, like, that's like Wombo. A Wombo drink.
Oh, here we go. This one is potentially sensitive content. Why was that sensitive? Fritz Roll says, got my pint of ice cream to cure my post-con depression. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, I got myself a haircut today. It's the shortest my hair has ever been.
I also got a haircut today, and it is also possibly the shortest my hair's ever been. Maybe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got a
You
fade.
like how it turned out?
Yes, I do.
Well, then
Short hair is just the best. Man, there's something about girls with short hair where it's just like, that is an aesthetic that's pretty damn great.
Yeah.
Amen.
I wish that if I was a girl, I'd have short hair too.
Yeah.
But
What do you mean you wish? It's a haircut. It's a choice. It's not like you're born with short hair.
I forgot that I'm currently sporting short hair as a guy.
Oh my
So,
God.
Not the shortest it's been though.
that's why I shaved it off twice in my life.
Yeah. Wait, twice? I knew of once.
I shaved it off back in college for another cancer charity, as a matter of fact. So both times I've shaved my head was for cancer charities.
Awesome.
Oh, good.
The only time I had to do it was in 5th grade for lice.
Oh.
That wasn't as bad as when Paley had tapeworms.
All right, we've got Christina Booth. I forgot to take a photo before eating. I was famished, lol, but I had a chicken curry with riced cauliflower.
Nice.
Oh, and then we have Kiwi. Pega's sister Kiwi says, got some seltzer and sun chips.
Nice.
Because I ate when I went to the movies. So happy I got to see you guys at BronyCon and got to give you the badges I made. Love you all. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
We love them.
All right, let's see if there's any.
What was that accent? That was an accent that you had.
Me?
All right there. Let's say it.
I think it might have been some sort of Australian. I don't know.
What?
Me.
You're
He's talking about-
crazy.
Okay.
You're
All right,
crazy.
let's see. I don't think we missed any today. Hawaii. All right, let me just.
Hawaii, everybody.
Hawaii.
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 Sounds
Switch
like
screens.
Jake from Rescuers.
Oh man. So, we're gonna get to BronyCon.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about BronyCon. But outside of BronyCon in the last 2 weeks, are there any updates anyone has, or any stories to share?
Anything that wasn't BronyCon, I forgot.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like
Well, I mean, I guess more recently, me and Jeffrey are kind of like starting to. Me and ACRacebest are starting to look at a house.
oh,
Like we're looking
yeah,
at
that's-
houses.
That's so.
We've started to get the ball rolling. We've contacted people, aka I've contacted people.
which means, guys, we're gonna probably have a house in the next 25 years.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank
Thank you. We're gonna celebrate the fact that Sarah made contacts.
Yes.
No,
What? It's a big step. Don't make fun of me.
I'm not making. No,
It's the one thing that is new that wasn't BronyCon. Y'all asked for it.
It's true, actually. Anyone else have anything that wasn't BronyCon? I'm like Bailey. I
Well,
don't remember anything.
Lammy got a haircut.
Oh.
Oh.
No, that's it, man. Nothing really else matters, to be honest.
I went to GalaxyCon.
What?
Oh yeah, you just went for a day, right?
Yeah, I went for one day just to see what all the hype's about because it sells out. Like that con has sold out for the past 3 years, I believe.
Yeah, and it's only been around for that long.
For that long, right?
Yeah.
That con, they invite lots of celebrities, and I was like, let's see what all the hype's about. I get why it sells out because, again, there's a lot of celebrities there that people want to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for me, I'm not super into that. I don't really care. I just want to have panels like who would win, a Celis or a car? That kind of stupid stuff, you know?
Ocellus gets hit by a car.
I literally just, the first two things that pop into my mind. I'm not even joking. Honestly, Ocellus would probably kill that, like win that really.
Oh yeah.
Just turn into like someone who doesn't care. Anyway, but yeah, stuff like that. It was just a whole bunch of like celebrity Q&As. I was just like, I don't care. Like, But I did get to see the voice actor for Donald Duck and the Launchpad from the '80s DuckTales.
Oh.
That was cool.
Nice.
They're both. I'm gonna call them old men, old enough to be set in their ways, and it was just interesting being like, yeah, you sure are old men. Just the way they talk, it's like you can't be too mad about it. And I'm like, yeah, they're old, whatever.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I was going to go to the David Tennant panel, but good lord, that man is popular.
Yeah.
That line filled up about an hour and 15 minutes before the actual panel. I was like, geez, man. Right, so yeah, it was all right. I probably wouldn't go for more than one day next year, just because again, it's not super my scene. But it was fun if that's what you're trying to do, meet celebrities. It's a fun time.
So that was the weekend before BronyCon?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Thanks. And then, Christian, he's actually reminding us of a story, Saber's shaker incident. I don't think.
I can share that.
Yeah.
All right. So it was the day before the convention. I needed a new shaker bottle because the old one broke near the lid, and I took off to the protein store. That's where protein is made.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, protein. So I was waking up still throughout the day and the morning. I was groggy. I haven't had my coffee. So I pulled up to the parking lot, got out, went to the front door, opened it up, and I was already kind of preparing myself to see some macho guys because that's just who works at these kind of stores. It's very much so a type that they hire, which makes me wonder if that's considered discrimination. But I guess that's another story. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I opened the door, this guy just fucking naughty. You've already been handshaked. That's what it felt like. Like the guy made a straight line to me, shook my hand, and said, "Hey, welcome to the store. Let me know if I can get you anything. Would you like to try a free sample? What can I do for you?" Mm-hmm. And I just flabbergasted. So I did a little motion with my hand where I'm like, "I need me one of these," which I meant like to do the motion for the shaker weight, which looked more like a hand job. So, in all its glory, just shaking my hand. I need one of these, partner. Give me a hand job, dude. Fortunately, he knew what I was talking about, and he got the shaker and a blowjob instead, which is great.
Yeah.
And then gave him my own protein, if you know what I mean. That's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Wow.
Ray, stop it, all right?
Sorry.
But you're a bad influence, and I don't want you around my kid anymore.
Okay.
All right, but no, I got my shake weight. It was just so awkward because I was just like, I don't know, like you hear these stories of like being cute and awkward, but like let's be real, most awkward people aren't like really being cute with it, they're just being fucking weird, which makes for really fun stories. Because you get people, oh, I'm weird, I'm awkward, I'm cute, look at my glasses. Versus like, oh, I'm awkward, I shit my pants or something.
So you mean our type of awkward?
Exactly. Precisely. So what are we going to talk about then?
Well, I think... Paleo?
Oh, I wanted to bring something up because I just found out about it like an hour ago, and I was just reminded about it on Twitter from Tony Fleeks because I saw it retweeted. Apparently, Humble Bundle is doing a big comics bundle for the My Little Pony comics right now.
Oh.
And it has like practically everything from the last 7 years. Like you can get it all for like $15.
Huh.
And it's like nearly $500 worth of comics.
Get on that, bronies.
We might get on that.
Yeah. Here, I'll link it here, and I'll also link it in the chat.
Nice.
How are you gonna afford a house if you buy those comics though?
Yeah.
The $15 of comics.
Well, so much for our house announcement, everybody. We're pulling.
Yeah, $15, and it's all Humble Bundles also for charity too. It's supporting the Hasbro Children's Fund.
Nice. That's really cool.
Which is what exactly?
Children's Fund from Hasbro, I guess.
What is that? Just they give money to children?
Here you go, child.
Hey, kid, here's
your money.
$20.
They just slip dollar bills
Buy
inside of the
yourself
toys.
something nice.
Buy yourself
Here's a
something.
nickel.
Like I did. I bought a toy.
Oh man.
yeah,
Well,
I'm gonna get
speaking
this right now because I have not caught up with the comics at all.
speaking of My Little Pony, I think we're gonna put up our spoiler screen for the episode that just aired. So for anyone that's new or just doesn't remember, we have our spoiler screen up right now, and what this is a heads up that we're going to be discussing spoilers for the newest episode. If you haven't seen it and don't want to hear spoilers, you can mute the stream and wait until this screen, the spoiler screen, goes down. And yeah, you should be good. And once the screen goes down, we will not discuss spoilers after that. So
I actually haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna mute.
all right. So
Oh, I should have watched that with you last night.
have you not seen it either, Paleo?
No, I've seen it.
Oh.
I've seen it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yep. So we'll still give a few people. I'll give them one more heads up that if you're looking to avoid spoilers for the newest episode of My Little Pony that aired on television, The Last Laugh, we are going to be discussing spoilers here for the next couple of minutes. Once the screen goes down, you're good.
Yeah.
So let's talk.
All right, so the synopsis is, when Pinkie Pie seeks help from her old friend Cheese Sandwich in finding her life's purpose, she discovers the unimaginable has happened. Wow, that's very vague. All right, I was reading the whole
He's
wiki.
dead.
So, I guess to kind of further explain, she figures out that Cheese Sandwich has created a laughter factory sort of thing. She goes to it. And she realizes that he has lost his laugh. He has lost his ability to enjoy things and laugh for himself. And so they have to figure out how to get it back.
Yeah. So what did you all think of this?
I thought it was a good episode. I was very scared that they were going to make the sand smirk guy be the problem. Because
Me
I
too.
really liked...
I was super afraid of that.
Yeah, I actually really liked the sand smirk guy, like, with his very dry sense of humor being like, oh yes, that's a hilarious joke, sir. Good job.
Yeah.
And I was so afraid that they were going to make him the problem that was, like, sucking the fun out of Cheese Sandwich's life, but I'm so glad that...
Sucking it how?
But, no, it ended up
protein.
that Cheese just needed to make people happy in person, and therefore he gets fulfillment out of that, and that makes him happy.
So I'm curious, like Laura, Saber, what did you guys think of this episode?
Well, it's always a pleasure to see Weird Al
Yeah.
on the show. Because you know you're kind of guaranteed a song.
Yeah.
Did you guys like this?
Laura, we watched it together. What did you think?
I liked it.
Cool. Good. I will say this, like, since this is our second time, right, seeing Cheese Sandwich,
Yeah.
I was actually a little bit bummed. Granted, like, the episode itself makes sense, like, oh, Pinkie hasn't seen him for a while, and he's had this, like, this is one of those things where you'd almost need to be separated for a while for this to have even been an issue.
Yeah.
But I was just I was like, oh wow, like he was such in a downer mood that I'm like, it almost doesn't even sound like Weird Al.
I know, like when Pinkie first like goes into his office, is like a shot kind of like that 50 Shades of Grey poster, and he's like, Pinkie, I'm glad that you came. Just like, what the fuck?
Well, it's so funny what you said about like how you're glad that the sand smirk guy wasn't the villain.
Yeah.
Because like, Laura, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like, didn't you say you kind of he was growing on you when you were watching the episode?
Oh, I
Yeah.
love him.
I like him a lot.
I love him so much.
Very
He was
funny
cute.
joke.
Like it's so the concept of someone who doesn't really like express their like silliness and laughs in a traditional way, but still get the kicks out of it. Like that's
Yeah.
cute.
Like, he still appreciates it in his own way, and he's very passionate about humor and making people laugh. It's just, yeah.
Cheese sandwich had his hair up in a bun. That was cute.
Man bun.
And then some good Pinkie Pie faces. It's always good to see Pinkie Pie golf on her own and tackle stuff. Because not to cause a tangent, but like Laura and I watched recently with Laura, Backstage Pass, which is that Equestria Girls 48-minute long movie. It's special. Have you seen it yet, guys?
No.
I haven't. I didn't even know there was a.
Yeah, we've got to record.
It's good.
It.
Yeah, you all should check it out. It's good. I won't say any spoilers, but it's got Sunset, so it automatically makes it one of the best things ever made.
Yeah.
Don't all the Equestria Girls things have Sunset?
They're all the best things ever made.
I will say this: I do appreciate Saber's undying love towards Sunset Shimmer. I find it very cute. Yeah. It doesn't excuse him for his shitty opinion of Rainbow Dash, but
we'll share stories with the chat here. Yeah. I've said a couple things about Rainbow Dash this past weekend that were very true.
Things.
And 99% of the human race that have a brain would agree with it.
Yeah.
So
I am race.
I am brain.
But what did everybody think of the whole conclusion of this episode with Pinkie?
I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't going to answer your exact question, but I loved her input for the song.
Yeah.
She was just the backup vocal.
The backup vocal for when he's trying to make Sans smirk off.
That was pretty good.
I enjoyed that.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of goofs that we like to see from Weird Al's character in this show. Good.
I was surprised that we saw Cheese Sandwich again at all.
Yeah.
As the show's starting to wind down here, I'm it's kind of a bummer because I was talking to Laura about this earlier, where there are things on the list where it's well, that's not going to probably happen now, or this isn't going to happen. I'm still waiting with bated breath for a history episode. I want it so badly. I want it ever so badly.
Maybe season or generation 5 is literally all history.
Keep your forked tongue behind your teeth.
But it won't matter then because it's different.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's different. It's not the same.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm ACRacebest. Stupid. So,
damn it!
It will never be the same.
Oh, hey,
what
Matt.
the hell?
You're really loud, Matt.
Howdy.
Matt, what are you? Where are you, Matt? Are you okay?
I am fine. I'm on my laptop.
You sound like you're in a closet hiding from someone, except you're not being quiet about it.
It's fine. At least he's here.
It's the best that I can work with given the circumstances that I have.
We just had to adjust your audio. You're good now.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, you came to the chat and you're like 50 times louder than everybody else.
So, to finish up on the episode though, is there anything else anyone wants to say?
It was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable. Yeah, it was fine.
Sans Smirk is the best.
Yeah.
Who do you ship Sans Smirk with?
Myself.
Sans Undertale.
Oh, Laura going in for the kill.
Sans Undertale.
All right, cool. So we're gonna.
That's quite humorous.
It was it's one thing I caught that was weird is that Cheese Sandwich called him Sans, and then at the end of the episode, Pinkie's like songs, and I'm like
Songs.
well, and I'm like, Pinkie, why are you saying it so
because they just
fancy?
recorded separately?
Well, I know that, but it's just well, I mean, you have voice directors that would probably be like,
right?
here's the way you say it.
Just tell them how to say it.
Speaking of voice directors, we're gonna get into our next topic here in a minute.
Yeah.
But first, I want to make sure everyone's
Yeah.
done with the episode. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're gonna.
Should we
Yes.
hit up these first?
Yes, but let's pull down the spoilers screen. Okay, so we're done discussing spoilers. But we did get 2 super chats while we were doing this. Mm-hmm. One of them was from Rapid Sparks saying, "It was great seeing your performances and panels at BronyCon. Keep bringing smiles to everyone's faces."
Aww.
Thank you
Don't
so
tell me what to
much.
do. All right, tell me to do it one more time.
So I actually want to give Rapid Sparks an extra shout out here. Assuming it's the same one that I've been talking to, but Rapid Sparks was doing a whole bunch of photography at BronyCon and is hooking me up with pictures that I'm going to be including at the end of the vlog.
Awesome.
Which again is like I love having those type of pictures to include in the vlog, and I think it's so cool when you do have somebody who's willing to help me out. So again, thank you, Rapid Sparks, so much. And then we also got another one, Sarah.
Mixed. Hello, Mixed. Hello. Just wanted to pop by, first time live before I go to sleep. Cheers from Finland, and tell that you guys are the greatest. And thank you for saving my boring work days and my WoW leveling grind.
Aww.
World of Warcraft.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you very much
for listening and your support and everything. All the way from Finland. That's awesome. And then Missy coming in, strikes again.
Boom.
There
Pressing
she
that
is.
button. It's not Friday. What is going on? Also, hi everyone.
We met Missy
Yes.
at BronyCon,
Yes.
and actually we met the duo, the Missy duo. And I know that they were living up BronyCon, went to the gala, did a whole bunch of awesome stuff. But it was so nice. I was so happy that we were able to give Missy a hug and just be like, thank you. And thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Missy. And hopefully, as with all of you, we see you all at future pony conventions. So, wow. Thank you, Missy.
Thank you.
Oh.
All right. Shall we get into the next topic?
Yeah, boy, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So,
It's a touching story.
I don't know if someone wants to let Hero know what we're about to discuss,
Yes.
but he might not even want to.
I fucking hate it.
Wait,
Hold on.
pause
We haven't
your
put up the
buttons. You
screen
can't
yet.
say you hate it. That's a spoiler. Now everyone
All right.
will hate it.
Can someone bring Hero back?
Yeah, where's Hero? Someone tagged that boy.
Oh, there. Okay.
I did.
Someone
That's
did.
the second time I've referred to him as that boy. I'm
Well,
just gonna call him.
Probably not the best. Sorry. Hirosashi, come back to us. I remember back in the early days of our friendship, I'd rag on him because I was like, Hirosashi is the name of the Japanese battleship that killed my grandfather. And Hirosashi like believed it for like a hot minute, and then the joke got really old, and then we stopped talking for about a year.
Oh,
No, I'm just joking.
you know what? Someone made a very good point. Does Lion King actually need a spoiler screen? Which
yeah,
it
'cause,
should.
like, it's literally
because
the same story.
Oh my
it's
God!
the
Wait,
same
you're right.
story, but at
You're
the same
right.
time, there's people that probably maybe
All
haven't
right.
seen
Well,
the
let's
original.
let's
either.
at least explain because we haven't.
If you haven't seen the original,
Just stare at the nice.
I mean,
gift.
it,
Branded their own thing and then sold it again because they would never.
It was very different.
No.
So all I'm gonna say is,
yeah, it sucked.
again, you got me. We're gonna be discussing The Lion King. It's still a newish movie. If anyone wants to avoid spoilers, same deal as the last one. The spoiler screen will come down when we're done discussing The Lion King. But yeah,
Maybe having the spoiler screen is a moot point, but we're just gonna do it
Sarah
anyway.
made it.
Enjoy the gif. The gif.
Hirosashi's not gonna come back because he probably knows that we're discussing this. We will hear Hero's thoughts. Has Hero seen the movie?
No, he refused.
Oh,
Okay.
in that case, wow. Okay, who here has seen the movie?
I have.
So it was on a website, and I started watching it today.
Yeah.
And I stopped.
You thief.
I don't give a fuck. They don't deserve a penny. But it will not be. I mean, just kidding. I didn't watch it on a website. It was a joke. I promise.
YouTube.
Went to the
Alright.
theater. But no, but legitimately, I guess what bothers me, and I mean, at this point, I almost feel so defeated. I think a lot of us do, where these remakes are just like cashing in, and there's really nothing creative behind it. It's just like them saying, like, "Oh, this worked back in the day, and now there's even a bigger audience to work with, so let's just do it again."
Yeah.
And it requires nothing. If anything, it's an investment. Like, the fucking Lion King was huge when it came out. Nothing came close to it.
Mhm.
And of course, this one's gonna be just as big. Man, I guess that just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Where I'm like, really, this is gonna be the one that holds the spot. It's kind of like with Avatar, where it's like, really, that's the thing, which has no cultural impact whatsoever. Just this movie that was the right place at the right time. I'm kind of getting that vibe with Lion King, where it's like, what this minimal shit show that just ripped off a better movie and played off of nostalgia. It doesn't deserve this shit, but there it is anyway. And I look forward to seeing whatever dethrones it. It could fucking be Minions 5 for all I care. At least it's
Did it
original.
Did it break a record?
It's on
close.
track to be being the highest grossing animated film of all time.
What? It's not it.
Say what?
Okay.
Race. It beats Zootopia.
I know. Actually, that's the only reason that we went to see it. Is I was like, well, there's no reason holding out anymore.
Yeah.
It's already beaten.
Thanks.
So here's what I'll say. I'm gonna do what no one else wants to probably, and just say that on a technical level,
Impressive.
Impressive.
Technically, it's impressive. It's cool how photorealistic these things look.
That being said, fucking do it with something else.
You take the original that has all this vibrant colors and life and expressions of the lions and all that shit, and it's cool and it's artistic, and then you do this with the photorealism, and it just like saps all the joy and the excitement from it.
Okay, so I know Sarah and I have. Paleo, have you seen the full movie?
Yeah.
All right, Hero's back with us. Hero, we're discussing The Lion King.
All right.
Oh jeez, I'm about to leave again.
Oh, okay.
Don't sugarcoat it. Tell us what you really think.
So are we the only three that have seen it then? In
I
full?
think so.
Okay. So that being said, here's the biggest issue I have with this movie. Like, ignore the fact that, or actually not ignoring the fact that it is a complete rehash of the original.
And the things that they changed.
But they changed things, and every change they made it worse.
Yeah.
It felt like there was less heart in this movie. Like, going back to what we were saying earlier, I don't know if it was so much the actors, but the direction for the voicing was like,
they're like,
what?
you just need to tone it down a little bit, make it as lifeless as the character that you are voicing.
You'd make a great voice director,
like,
Sarah.
as far as changes, like, they made Scar not fun.
Oh, don't even get
Scar
on.
was not a fun villain.
What
like he is in the
about Be
original.
Prepared?
Be Prepared fucking sucked.
Be Prepared was
it
literally
wasn't gonna be
like,
in the movie,
oh my god,
but
so
okay.
the first like half of Be Prepared, it's all like new lyrics. Like, it's weird. Like, he's singing it,
I'm
he's
not even
singing it.
the words.
He's
He's doing slam poetry.
Yeah, he's doing slam poetry, and then it kicks into where he's actually singing, and then it sounds like a fucking opera.
Be
Like,
prepared.
This makes me sad.
Oh,
I
Hero.
kind of want to see it now, just to see.
No, don't give it money.
Don't give it money. Like
watch it illegally,
you-
Matt.
which we don't
Hey,
know.
Saber, send me that link.
I got you, bro.
But no, seriously though, like everything that this, I saw some people discussing, saying, well, at least the soundtrack was amazing, and I'm like, honestly,
That's what I've heard.
like I am a massive Hans Zimmer fan. Like, I love Hans Zimmer. He's my favorite composer, and I'm not saying this is his fault, but as Sarah said, it just felt like they kind of put paint. Oh, like they
fresh
painted.
paint, but like it didn't really add anything. And I honestly, like, the music was less impactful than
It's bare minimum stuff, guys. Like, again, this is such a it's like Disney this is their biggest year yet. There's nothing. I can't think of a single year comes close to this. Endgame,
they
Lion
they
King,
made over $5 billion so
Dumbo.
far this year.
That's huge, and that's just and the thing is.
Movies.
And take this in though. Also, like, that's a lot of money from movies, but also keep in mind that movies serve the purpose of licensing and merchandise. So you're making fucking tens of billions of dollars. They're making a fucking fortune. And I'm like, it's just I don't know. I Laura and I were talking about this yesterday, where like, and to which this was being discussed in a video from YouTubers we follow from My Little Media, where they're talking about a movie called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and how Tarantino is one of the last like directors, like real directors in Hollywood, and how the era of actor movies is kind of come to an end, and now it's
Yeah,
more
like you don't go see a movie because like a certain actor's in it. Like they don't have the same kind of star power they did back in the 90s.
Well, do you all think like will this keep up forever, or will there be eventually a crash where it's like, oh, I'm just so sick of this same old fake. And the thing is, I'm not trying to bash on this shit because I liked Endgame. I liked not the Last Jedi.
No.
But I guess like there's something to be said about having an authentic, genuine movie going experiences. Laura, you saw Midsommar.
Yep.
Now, would you say that movie feels more authentic compared to what's being put out most as of right now?
Absolutely. So, like, people like Ari Aster are making movies like Hereditary and Midsummer. Those movies don't get like these wide, huge theatrical releases that like The Lion King '87 does, or like every sequel and remake that you can think of, because it's not a brand that they can easily push. It's like some guy making his vision, and it's like that's something I would rather see than seeing the same thing over and over again, because I'll pay to see something once, but I'm not going to keep paying to see the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and back to the actor thing. Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it has Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio like co-starring in it, and those like back in the day were like two of the biggest. I mean, they still are kind of two of the biggest like Hollywood actors.
Yep.
And yet it's still like one of Tarantino's best openings, but very small compared to these big blockbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think and not to get off too off tangent, I guess, but like the Disney remakes coming out, and then Star Wars and not Lord of the Rings. Well, I guess not yet, at least at the moment. But like, do you all think like most audiences have been conditioned to become like more of like a consumer of mass-produced media versus like what used to be like art, and like here is something different and kind of a leap of faith compared to like, oh no, Lion King, this will fucking work because people are stupid.
Wait, what's your question?
I guess as in like, I guess what I'm asking is, has human like culture for modern like audiences changed to where our tastes have shifted from enjoying like, I don't know, like, I mean, I guess you can see you can see how things have changed over like decades, but like nowadays, like welcome to the time period of cinematic universes and almost like think tank productions and shit like that.
Well, I gotta ask you a question about what you mean by authentic.
Well, no,
then,
well,
because
okay, yeah, I'll let Matt.
the DuckTales remake, there is a lot of heart in there. The people that are producing.
Oh, but that's different. That's
property.
That's
No,
a TV show.
It's a remake.
But it's a remake.
It is a
It's
remake.
exactly
We're
the same.
not talking about TV
Exact
shows.
same characters.
Alright.
I'm talking about movies. It's a different animal altogether. TV shows are different. TV is actually fucking going through a renaissance right now. I think TV's doing pretty damn great.
Well, I bring it up because you did mention specifically DuckTales when you were.
No. Did I say DuckTales?
I thought you did.
I'm a little bit drunk, so I might have. I'm legitimate. I might be like, did I mention DuckTales, man? Did I? More of a, did I? Like, I'm curious.
Well, here's okay. To answer your question, I think. Okay. Well, first off, so we took down our Lion King spoilers thing just so people can kind of slip back in here, but it's an interesting topic because I think what it is that when okay, for example, when Endgame came out, I don't think any of us were like, you know what really sucks? Cinematic universes and Disney making a lot of money. Lion King comes out, and now we're all pissed off at how these movies make money. I think what it is that Lion King's gonna be an anomaly. Well, no, not an anomaly. I should say Disney life remakes right now have just been weird, because it's people kind of reliving that nostalgia, a lot of which now have children and say, okay, let's go to the movie and experience this. A lot of people just will go and see a movie like Secret Life of Pets and be like, the kids will like it. Let's do it. It's not necessarily them saying this movie was brilliant or this is what like the moviegoer wants to see. But I like that box office is a kind of a slippery slope to compare. It sucks because obviously movies are made to make money. Not saying that's their sole reason. They also want to tell a story. They're also works of art. But I do think that, you're going to have stuff like this where Lion King, blows it out of the water. But then I also can't complain because, again, I just look at like 3 years ago is when Zootopia came out. And, I'm not sitting here going, my God, movies have just been horrendous these days. It's just,
I know. I guess
I think also, Steven, like what you're addressing is part of like a shift in terms of it's a lot easier as like a movie producer to sell something if people already know what it is,
True.
rather than to sell something that's like, hey, here's this obscure movie that you've never heard of, but like it's really good, trust me, it's really good. Or you can go pay, instead of paying $15 to take a chance on that, you can pay $15 to go see The Lion King, and you already know what you're signing up for. So people are like afraid to take that chance to be like, yeah, I'll see something that
you're
I have no idea what it is.
absolutely right.
They just
Like,
feel like, no, like I know what I'm getting if I go see The Lion King. I know what I'm getting if I go to see Dumbo or whatever other like Disney remake it is. It doesn't matter. Then it's just the comfort and the nostalgia of it. It's like, oh no, like I know what I'm getting. I know I'm comfortable going to see this, and that's what I want to do, and I don't want to have to take a risk on some movie that could just be but this way I know what I'm getting.
I understand that the bottom line is arguably the most important part of making a movie. I know it should be the art, but like if a studio goes out of business, well, GG. So I get it. Like Alita Battle Angel, okay. What was that one movie, Paleo? Jupiter Ascending? Didn't that fucking flop like out the ass?
Oh yeah, it flopped really
So-
bad.
That was a not good movie either.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, it's a bad example, I think, because box office numbers do not equate to being a good movie.
Quality-
which is
I know.
hard
I'm
to
just
discuss, because then like with Hollywood, that is what it means, because it's like, oh well, this movie made a ton of money, so let's do this
I think-
exact same thing again, because we care more about making money than we do about making art.
I think a lot of it has to do with the studios in general and
yes.
them not advertising like new concepts.
Well, I think
'cause, like-
they will play it safe.
Yeah, because like with Annapurna, the studio that was distributing Missing Link, the new Leica film, which I thought was like actually really good. I was very surprised by it because from the trailers, I was like, this doesn't look like the kind of thing I would be into. But then when I watched it, I was like, oh, this was actually really great.
I still need to watch
Speaking to
that.
this from a YouTuber standpoint,
Shut the
Alright.
fuck up.
Not Griffin's here.
Gabe,
ah,
we're
Lay it on us, Mr. Griffin.
finishing up a topic on movies.
I've been listening. I've been here for quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's been here the whole time, guys. I think. Oh man, I had a thunk, but
I do. I have a think.
Oh, go for your think.
Yay! Thank you. So my think. So just based off of the difference in views I get when I post a video that's like an impression or a review on something that already exists versus releasing an original song, it is really hard to get something original. Like you guys were saying about The Lion King, yeah, they'll pay for advertising and everything, but people are they already know what The Lion King is. They're already searching The Lion King. A lot of that advertisement actually comes free because people are already, there's forums about The Lion King, so they're going to be talking about that.
Yeah.
They're reaching a broader scope for less money. That's something like my big impression videos, have upwards of 60 million views now because I have big names attached to that video. People are already searching for Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, Bruno Mars, Michael Jackson. I don't. The advertising behind them and their fame is helping carry that video. Whereas my original song that I released this Friday has 35,000 views. So it's it's definitely, I think, harder and more expensive on the advertising side to make original content.
Oh my!
And it's more of a gamble. Yeah,
preach, dude. And I get it. Like at the end of the day, it's a gamble. Even if you feel it's a safe bet, there's still a level of uncertainty to it.
Yeah.
And I guess Disney's playing it safe. I just feel like, I don't know, it just kind of bums me out where I'm like, it just feels
it
so.
bums me out too.
It feels big and corporate and generic and like.
Well, Disney took
focus.
risks.
But through those risks, I also know they walked the razor's edge where there are days where it's like, it wasn't until Michael Eisner and then definitely with Bob Iger where they're like, okay, we're big and powerful now. Like, we don't have to take risk like we used to. And even if we do take the occasional risk, we can write off as a tax, fuck off, whatever, we're good. Yeah. Like, we just made $20 billion a second ago, we're good. Like, we're who cares? I don't know. I guess I'm just getting tired of the big blockbuster films.
Yeah. So Saber,
like
how long
Endgame?
until you release your video about what ruined My Little Pony?
I will never do that, but I do want to call myself out on my bullshit because I want to be fair. I say all of this about big blockbuster films, but I was very much so champion for Godzilla. Mm-hmm. So, and
that art house film, Godzilla.
That little known franchise, but to be fair, at the same time, like, I mean, because Legendary is trying to make it into a big monster verse, and I'm like, yeah, I want to see that. I don't know, whatever. I just need to shut up.
Well, I'll end it on this. I don't see anything
necessarily bad with combined universes or anything like that. Sure, you're taking known characters, but you're telling a new story, or at least
it's branding. It's branding. It's smart.
That's the whole reason like the MCU works is that it's the Marvel Studios brand because if people say like, oh yeah, we don't know this as like a director, we know this as a studio. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, see, that is definitely that works. Like if you put anything under the MCU umbrella, people are gonna go see it. Like that's how like the whole Cloverfield cinematic universe failure exists. Because like
it's like some of what Pixar produced.
And then 10 Cloverfield Lane was a really good movie, and they're like, oh, you know that God Particle movie that JJ wants to make? Let's just call it Cloverfield something. And then it'll be part of the Cloverfield universe, and then we don't even have to advertise it. We'll just mention it during the Super Bowl, and everyone will fucking watch it, and that's exactly what happened.
Alien movie with Ryan Reynolds was related to Cloverfield. At the very end, they're like, look at this.
So stupid. It should have been an anthology. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think to answer your original question, what are we going to see now that big name star-based movies seem to be getting in the past? I think we're going to see a lot more studio-based movies. So the studio name will be what steers people toward it. We've already started.
That's already the way it is.
Yeah, it is that way.
With animated movies, that's the way it is.
I think animated movies a lot generally now.
Because animated movies in general, you don't really think of the director; you think of the studio.
Yeah, it's a Pixar film. Like, name the director for The Good Dinosaur, which is a bad example. Name the director for Star Wars. No one knows who it is now. Actually, funny enough, I will throw that out. It's so funny because people forget that there was a director who wasn't George Lucas for Return of the Jedi, and very few people know them or know who it was. I know that there's Irving Kishner for Empire Strikes Back because he like saved everything, but like, I don't know, it just goes to show you that it's like George Lucas, Star Wars, who directed Return of the Jedi. Most people would probably say George Lucas. Like, nope, did not. It was somebody else.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, tangents.
Well, I was gonna say I have at least two more points on this.
Go for it.
Because you mentioned sequels kind of in this group. For me, I don't know if I'm just different or I'm with the quiet majority or minority or whatever. because I always hear people complain about like, oh, sequels. And granted, like, you know, there to me there is a point where you go, oh, there's another Shrek movie, another Ice Age, but I'm also like somebody who does enjoy at least a sequel.
They're never making Zootopia 2.
Like, well, he knows where I'm going with this, but
Why
no,
was he so far away?
he's
I
because
was
he's
walking
afraid
away
I was
to get
gonna
my
hit him.
phone.
But yeah, like I'm somebody who, if I enjoy a movie and there's a sequel to come with it, and I feel like, oh cool, there's a story that can be here as well. Like even Frozen, funny enough, it was something where I was somebody who was like, seriously, they're gonna make a sequel for this? That's stupid. But now with the trailers, I'm like, okay, like, let's check it out. Let's see what happens. The other, so that was one point. The other thing I was gonna say, and this is just something that bothers me in general. I don't like, and we had this conversation, I think, when we talked about Jungle Book back in the day. I don't like that we are calling photorealistic movies, saying that they're in the same category as animation. Like, to me,
Yeah.
there needs. I understand why there isn't a difference.
I disagree, though I relate to your frustration, though.
Okay,
It sucks. 'Cause it is animation. What they're doing is animation. It's photorealistic, but still animations. And maybe you can that's the frustration comes from where folks are like, I like this live action Lion King. It's nothing about its live action, not a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And calling it live action does a disservice where it almost feels like you're just shitting on animation. Oh, animation, that's for kids. It's the old stuff. And it's like, oh my god, it's like this knife keeps being stabbed in me. It passed Lion King. It's passing Frozen. It's gonna be number one. It's not technically animation. Live action is better than animation. She's like, oh my god, I'm dying. Just kill me. So, like this movie's just ripping my
Okay,
balls
back.
off. And
They were already
I-
ripped off.
they were already ripped off years ago. No, but like I guess again, I gotta check myself because I'm going into ranting mode if I'm not careful. I've been doing that, but like no man, it's just frustrating because I feel like they're disguising this technical photorealistic animation as live action, and most audiences are willing to go, it's live action. And it's like, oh, it's not the same thing. It's like, do you think the flying ships in like Star Wars are real?
Exactly.
Do you think
Right?
I
like
mean,
At what
the
point is the
original.
line drawn between
Live,
live
action.
action and animation?
right? Thank you. Like it's just
Because like if you're
whatever.
watching an Avengers movie, like how much of that do you actually think is real?
right?
Yeah.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. got into his fucking Iron Man suit and flew away. Like, and this is what was so happy with Mad Max Fury Road. Holy shit, that was gorgeous and that was real. Now I, of course,
Yeah.
will
Except for the
acknowledge
colors.
exactly.
The
I
colors.
was
The
gonna-
colors are real.
yeah, but that's using like computer animation to like really like because there's a lot of computer animation used because folks think like, oh well, they didn't use computer animation in this movie. It's like, oh no, they absolutely fucking did. They always do, and some of the best work done by computer animation is the stuff that you don't even notice, and
Yep.
which is
Yeah.
that's good. So like
Yeah, there's a great series on YouTube called visual effects artists react to
Yes!
great
Yeah.
react to great and bad CGI. There's like a whole series on YouTube about that, and they go over like why something looks bad or why something is really great or why something like is impressive, but
Yes.
you don't
That
notice
sounds
it.
fun.
So,
it's great, Laura. You love it
yeah.
a lot.
I just want to point this out that Rapid Sparks did send us another super chat and put in quotes, a
Whoa!
little bit drunk.
Eh,
Can I just wrap up this whole like lying thing?
Yes,
thing
yes,
thing?
yes.
Lion
I'm
King
so
King.
sorry.
I just want to bring up one thing of like the time that me and Race actually like busted out laughing in the middle of this movie.
Is this a spoiler?
I
Put the spoiler.
don't. Okay, fine. Okay. All right. So there's the whole bit where Simba's he plops down on the ground and in the original movie it's like some bits of grass.
Oh my
and stuff
God, this
go
part.
floating in the wind.
Yeah,
it
this
it
part,
eventually
yeah.
reaches Rafiki. So in this movie, it's a bit of his
Uh-huh.
hair. It's a bit of his hair, and it's almost like, okay, have y'all seen the movie Dinosaur?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The beginning of the movie of Dinosaur, where the egg's just doing fucking everything that it could possibly do. It's like it's falling into water.
Oh
It's
my
getting partially eaten by like pterodactyls and shit. That's the whole thing that this hair went through. This whole
And it was
sequence-
weird because it was like the music even stopped halfway
Oh my
through
God.
it.
Okay, so this whole sequence, like, it just
It
batshit
goes on
crazy stuff.
forever.
Yeah, it goes on forever. Batshit crazy stuff is happening to it. And there was this one bit where like it stops for a little bit and a giraffe eats it out of
Yeah.
the tree. And
does.
in the theater, like when the screen faded to black, I'm like, and the giraffe poops it. And then literally the next shot is of a dung beetle with a pile of poop. And that's when I just completely lost it. I'm like, they fucking went there. They fucking did
Like,
it.
what was the
I-
point?
They
I'm
were
gonna
probably
spit it out.
like sitting there like, oh yes, very artistic, beautiful. And I'm just like, it's poop.
I don't like. It was weird because it was
Oh
like
my god.
again, like the movie was like yeah, we know what we're doing. We know we're. I don't know what the hell.
It's in Africa. We're gonna use these animals, but we didn't use the first time.
John Favreau, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna tell you the one part that did actually make me laugh, where I went, okay,
Genuinely?
like it was like a genuine laugh, and it's gonna sound really childish,
Yeah.
but it was actually when they were singing. So they sing Hakuna Matata, and Pumbaa.
That I
Yeah, every time that I'd fart. Weren't you gonna stop me?
But
Like,
that I
like
farted, are you not gonna
They
stop
let
me?
him say
No, you
fuck.
disgust me.
Now you disgust
I actually laughed at that because I'm like, okay, yeah, because like everybody, is expecting the bit
You know,
where.
surprisingly, Timon and Pumbaa to me were the best part of the movie.
They were the best
Yes,
part
they
of
were.
this movie.
Yes, they were.
Which I think a lot of us were dreading. Them,
Yeah.
and-
No, Seth Rogen was actually very
I mean,
tame.
I don't know
actually.
I don't know who voiced them, but Timon and Pumbaa are the best part of the whole.
Yeah, it's
Seth Rogen and the guy Crazy Craig from Parks
Billy
and Rec.
Eichner.
Billy Eichner.
Yeah.
No, it was David Attenborough and Jean-Luc Picard.
When I was a young warthog.
All right, so we could take the
Observe the
spoiler
wild
screen.
bee.
Let's talk about something actually pleasant. First off, we got some super chats that just came in.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of super chats. You
Dang,
got-
Stone says, "Curse Mount Shasta. I just missed 30 minutes of the stream." Aww.
Oh,
That's not good. Sorry, Stone. And then Britfield says, "No, the poop fluff."
Yeah.
And then and then Jack Slade comes in saying, "A little bit sober."
Super.
Sober Spark. Thank you, super chatters. And an extra shout out to Jack Slade.
Also,
by the way.
okay, sorry. There was another dumb thing that they changed in this movie. The whole Mr. Pig scene.
Oh my
where
god.
they. Oh, okay. You want the spoiler screen up? Oh, hey, it's right there.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares, really, though?
Spoiler. It's the best parts of the movie we're discussing.
Yeah. So like in the original film,
Actually, this
one
was
of-
pretty bad.
One of the hyenas called Pumbaa a pig, and then he's like, "You talking to me? You talking to me?" And like this whole, it's so funny. And then like in the sequel, in the remake, they like change it being like, "Did you just call me chubby? Well, you're just fucking bullies." And then he just like
Yeah, he
beats
says the
them
F
all
word.
up.
And he does say the F word.
It's PG-13. They had the one to use, and that's what
It's
it's
like, what a weird
Yeah.
change.
I'm 98% you're sure you're joking, but that 2% is like, did they?
No, that's why they remade it. No,
No,
it
they
was,
said mother effing bullies.
Yeah, that's sorry.
No,
No.
leave Sarabi out of this.
Yeah, it was weird because it was like we're gonna be woke and go after bullies, not just predators that eat animals. Bullies. It's like, no, you're actually picking. Now I was gonna bring this one other part, the other part that I actually was like, I think Sarah and I did get a kick out of. While it won't ever replace in a million years the original. I was very confused and then slightly amused by how they replaced the hula scene.
Yeah.
Be
Oh, that was- it was like
guest. Oh god, they referenced another remake that they fucking.
They
Well, I
did.
know it's like the classic Beauty and the Beast thing, but I 100% believe that they put that scene in there because they remade Beauty and the Beast. And I was just like, stop it.
Where he chose to cut it.
All right.
Let's talk
about BronyCon.
Yeah.
It was
Borny,
good.
born.
Oops.
It was
Oops.
good. All right.
Screens. Sorry.
So now we're gonna move on to Q&A.
I'm gonna check on Lammy fast, but go ahead and get the conversation going.
Okay.
So BronyCon, ladies and gentlemen, it was the last BronyCon, 2019. Years and years of BronyCon, convention that's meant a lot to us on a sentimental side. Of course, has meant a lot to the fandom in general. It's one of those conventions that just about everybody that was there appreciated, and in a huge way. Like this was a weekend. I was talking with Gabe earlier, how like this weekend, it's just like it was like kind of a perfect weekend to send it off. It was incredible, and I want to hear some stories from the weekend. I know a lot of us were around each other at some point, but there also might have been times where we weren't.
I got mistaken for Michelle Creeber.
You did?
Yeah. And I didn't know that they mistook me for Michelle Creeber until like the very end of the conversation. So it was right after I think the Bronies React panel, and I was waiting for you to leave the panel room, and I was sitting out there with Matt in our Acorn Cafe group. And someone came up to me and they asked if, I could take a picture with them, and I said yes, and so I take a picture. And then this person asks me to say the like scoot scoot scootaloo line, and I'm like, well, that's a weird and very specific line for someone. Like, I don't know why he's asking me for it, but I did it, and so I said scoot scoot scootaloo. And then he's like, oh, thanks
Just
so
like
much.
that?
Yeah, like scoot scoot scootaloo is how I said
there
it.
you go.
And then
Scoot.
so he thanked me, and then he turned around, and I thought that was the end of the conversation. But then he came back, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I think you're just like the perfect voice for Apple Bloom. I love your work." And I'm like,
You're like,
Well, wait, now
Thanks.
that doesn't mean that he thought you
I
were
think
Michelle
it should have been
Creeber.
James Earl Jones, but
That could just mean that he thinks you're the perfect voice for Apple Bloom.
shit.
Yeah.
should have been, yeah.
Yeah. Let's think of it that way.
I mean, I don't know who actually voices Apple Bloom, but you definitely
I forget her
be
name,
the one.
but she's okay for sure.
But yeah, I was taken for Michelle Creeber.
I mean, in fairness, Sarah, you did sound pretty much just
You
like
guys
her.
have similar haircuts
Thanks.
too.
Yeah,
you.
I know. I don't blame that person for mistaking me for
You know what you should have
Michelle
said?
Creeber.
You could have totally because whenever people mistake me for SaberSpark, I'm sometimes like, if I really treat them like a jerk right now, they'll hate SaberSpark.
Ha! SaberSpark's horrible. I met him in person. He's the worst.
I'm gonna
Wait, so-
subscribe.
You son of a gun! I hate.
Wait, I thought you were the living tombstone.
God, that's
Someone called me
throwback.
Mando Pony backstage, and then someone else did call me the Living Tombstone.
I was somebody started talking to me about, they're like, hey, so you got my message about this thing? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, are you not Jay Holler? And I'm like, so yeah, there were a lot of that.
Brett Fields says in the chat, wait, but did you correct them and explain you're not Michelle Creeber? To be honest, I didn't have time. Like, I was just like, oh, and then he walked away, and that was about it. I was just like, oh.
Because you
All
could've-
Sarah could say was, "Buy some apples."
If they couldn't tell, and some merchandise. If they couldn't tell by the by
The confused look on my face.
Oh man. So
By the way, Gabe, I started watching Race's con vlog today.
Mhm.
How much did you pack?
Okay, let me
Let me answer that question. Too
Okay.
much.
Yeah. Okay.
Saber, your poor car.
So, it was not my stuff. The way that it has been in the past is, that Monique runs this store, and it used to be that she employed my mom to help her ship out stuff that people would buy. which was overwhelming. And Nathaniel and I aren't really. I mean, we don't really have much say, if any say at all, in the merch. But that's something Monique does, and we let her do that. And so, but it basically became too much work for us to try and run. So Monique asked us to bring the majority of our inventory to BronyCon, and then whatever we didn't sell, she would take back with her to Vancouver and continue to do the store on her own. And so that was kind of a last minute thing. So we ended up with 5 checked luggages.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. And then, but yeah, I mean, we made it, and it was a fun experience. It's a much cooler story than, oh yeah, we got in the car and drove to BronyCon, and everything went smoothly.
Yep.
Over her dead body.
I will say this, that wait, sir, did you just put that up on the screen?
No. Oh, someone chose a GIF.
Oh.
I think they have a special
That's
thing.
cool.
To do.
Also, I saw Rainbow Dash. I was
Yeah,
like,
I know, like what?
Aww. Rainbow Dash is so cute.
I don't see it.
I think it was on Streamlabs. Let me pull that up on the other.
It was Rapid Sparks. Again. So, yeah. That was. I think one of the best parts about it that I didn't realize while it was happening was that Saber cranked up some like da 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 da.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that until I edited the vlog, and I was laughing my ass off. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's why I started being racist. It's terrible.
It was crazy. So.
Alright, I gotta sneak out and go to bed because
Good night, Laura.
Good night.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks for
Good
coming.
Love you. Good night.
I love all of you
I
guys.
want to.
Good
I
night.
love you too. Britt, it wasn't expensive. My brother's military. We can check luggage for free.
Oh.
Well, that's awesome.
So we did get Rapid Sparks saying, so it was a GIF of Rainbow Dash, and what does it say?
This one's for Saber. Rainbow Dash is definitely best pony. Forgot to say that earlier.
Correct, Jeff. I'm falling off a chair with you in spirit.
That one got my ankle pretty good.
I'm Rainbow
one really
Dash.
hurt.
I'm way too stupid to actually retain knowledge.
Shut up.
Rainbow Dash, Twilight, what did you learn today?
So,
I learned how to wipe my hands after taking a shit. Okay.
Next episode. And immediately forgets how to wipe her hands. I don't know. Fucking Rainbow Dash.
What show
She's
are
an
you
idiot,
watching?
dude. She's a jerk. I'm sorry. I'm just being real.
She is the reason I kept watching the show initially, because I was like, this is the only character.
You see
Yeah,
my
you're
point.
welcome,
She's a
Saber.
Terrible character.
Gabe and I would not
You keep
know
watching
you.
because you're like, does she ever get better? And the answer is no.
But Gabe and I
Rainbow
wouldn't
Dash
even know
probably
you.
will be the villain of the show. She'll probably start some black hole and suck up everything.
She doesn't need to get any better. She's already awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is she awesome? Oh, look at me. I'm
Watch
getting
out
people
for her.
killed.
She's awesome as she wants to be.
So for those that don't
Take
know, you will see
Take
this,
caution.
the stuff in the
I said,
vlogs.
did you hear me?
Right? No, I was going to say no.
Okay, guys.
No.
And I gotta ask a question, Saber.
You
Are you
have
saying
to.
that's exclusive to Rainbow Dash, that she just forgets everything each episode, or is that like kind of?
Yeah, he's just picking on her.
Yeah, remember that she's got goldfish brain. She forgets everything.
Flushy.
Oh yeah. And oh yeah. Well,
I'm way too awesome to wear.
Pants. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking, she's an idiot.
you say that like it's a
They-
bad
none of them wear pants.
Yes, they
That's
do.
your drink of choice tonight, Saber.
Sake.
Will you keep talking it up? It's just so for those that don't know, like I said, a lot of the vlogs are still coming out right now. I'm up to the first half of Friday has been uploaded. I will be editing the second half of Friday, which includes some concert stuff Friday night. I remember Gabe and I were like, "Oh my god, we're so tired and dead. Should we go to Brony Palooza?" Okay.
Exactly. We were laying there probably for 20 minutes going, man, I'm exhausted. I don't want to move another step. Man, I can't wait to go to sleep. Let's go to Brony Palooza.
Yeah, but it was worth it. Like we were there for about.
that's the thing. There's plenty of time to sleep in your life. I don't want to miss stuff at BronyCon.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. But I was gonna mention that also something you'll see in the vlog, no doubt, was at closing ceremonies, where BronyCon asked Saber and I to basically say the parting words for the community guests, which is a super freaking big honor. I mean, Saber and I have had an excellent relationship with BronyCon throughout the years, and again, it just kind of adds to, we're sad to see it go, and we didn't request or ask. They told us all of a sudden, like, we got an email saying we want Race and Saber to get the microphones. They'll be the ones to say something. And just before we go on stage, Saber all of a sudden is like, "Oh my gosh, please, I need to do something."
Hold on. Before, yeah. So I talked to Jeffrey or ACRacebest about, like, oh, this is what we're gonna do. Go back and forth. And I even said, like, can I go last? And I could tell that Race, like, see, like, you can tell this coming a lot to Race because he had, like, speeches prepared and emotional, like here's a timestamp of the con where I'm gonna lay down a really emotional line. Which, by the way, well done. We're good.
You were pretty freaking great up there yourself.
Yeah. Well, there's a part of it where I was like, "Oh, we're a fandom of misfits and of outcasts," and you hear someone in the audience go, "Ouch!"
Other room said ouch 10 seconds later.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that LARPing was so interesting.
Shut up, other room.
So we'll get to that though. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's like, I think it was Paleo. No, it's Hero. Hero, you tweeted out something like, it's gonna hit me later, which, like, holy shit, like, it's been hitting me. Like, I've been busying myself all day, but, like, right now I feel kind of like this weird, like, well, what's next kind of thing, which I'm sure life will find ways of staying busy. I think that's one of the scariest things about life is when you don't have something to look forward to. That's scary.
Yeah, it's rough. It definitely hit me a little bit. I say a little bit, quite a bit, while I was eating lunch in my car. Like, I was just sitting there alone with my thoughts in my car, and I was like, oh shit, here it is.
It was hitting me at work earlier today because I was just sitting there and I was just kind of looking. It's crazy.
Well, it's I mean, I think to an extent, like, and hear me out, but, like, seeing the show slow down to see the end of BronyCon, and maybe it's just me, so that's why I say hear me out, but kind of reminds us a bit of our own mortality, where things do come to an end, and that sucks. But at the same time, it's like, I'd rather go out strong than wither away and just be forgotten. Like, if one option was, okay, BronyCon goes on for the next 6 years and just kind of like, oh, we have 1,000 people at the attendance, which, for the record, it's nothing to scuff at or snuff at or buff at or scoff at. Scoff. Thank you. I was going to keep saying words until I got it. I was reaching for my dictionary. But
because he couldn't reach his
like,
dick.
I was going to say that.
Never can, never will. But like, legitimately, though, I am just so overjoyed. It's like it's a beautiful sadness where it's like, it's
melancholy.
Yeah, where it's like, I'm sad to see it go, but I'm glad we got to go out with it on a high note, full of attendees and loving people, and that means a lot. Like, if this thing's gonna end, I want it to end with, like, my hands full of ecstasy or whatever. Like, just, this shit's like
the drug.
Ecstasy's illegal in most cities.
Not in Baltimore.
Not in Baltimore, my friend. Ice cold water guy. I got the ice cold ecstasy, and it only costs 1 penny.
Hey,
it costs more than that.
No, Jeff's like, well, man, I'm paying way too much for my ecstasy.
Yeah, no, it's.
I told Ray, you can see Judy Hopps if you're high enough, and he's like, say no more.
What was that?
That was a gif of a guy flipping waters. It's Rapid Sparks again saying, shut up, other room. Distant laughs 10 seconds later. Best memory.
Yes, that was so good. That was.
It was weird because I couldn't. So I am used to feedback through speakers because when Tom and I are working at racetracks, we'll get that feedback through the speakers. So I'm used to having to train that out. But it was weird because it was so inconsistent. Like,
Yeah, sometimes you heard it, sometimes you didn't.
and then like
No,
sometimes it was.
I heard all the time. It was. I'm sorry, but like I had a speech jammer moment. Like I was on the precipice
Were you?
of my. Oh yeah.
Yes. Pony.
I was terrified when I heard the other voice in the other room where I was like, oh fucking no. All the times for this to go south. No. God almighty. Yes. Mascots, Scott, Thornwing. There you all are. I was terrified, and also when we were sitting in the audience watching the LARPers, because they'd have like this dramatic timing, which is completely debunked from the other room, because you have them being like, "I was afraid that you all would forget me." That you all would forget me. There's an echo.
I know it was a because it was actually the live stream that they were playing in there, so there was that 5-second delay, right?
That's why.
Yeah.
For the record, I am not ripping on the LARPers. I thought that they did their best.
Oh,
but
was amazing.
if I was in charge, I'm just gonna say it right now. If I was in charge of the con, which I should have been. No. I don't. I'm not brave enough for convention like staffing. That shit is beyond me. That takes a strong.
It's hard enough to
patient
go.
soul. Right, dude. No, right.
I don't
But-
know. Go on.
I was gonna say, okay, I do LARPing out the gate. Let's get that going. It'd be a fun little show. I don't know what the dancing thing was about, but that's fine. But like, I thought the final it was like the what I always mess his name up. How is it? Shiva? Sure. I thought his speech was great. I wish they would have ended it right there. Boom,
Yeah.
done. That would
Yeah.
that would have been a good high note.
I think we all did. They should have. I think that if like on a scheduling point, other conventions take note. I agree that should have been like the opener. Like bring that in because the honest, genuine opinion of that is that not everybody's like on board with it. Like as far as like following the story of what's going on with these characters.
Yeah.
So like when they're doing this whole like this is my character development, I'm like, I missed something.
Oh yeah, and which again, I get the LARPing's fun for a lot of people, and for the folks who participate, I'm not knocking. Like
Same.
we're all fucking nerds, and I'm not shaming them. And I'm not saying they did a bad job. I just think, and then for all I know, this could have been hindsight 2020, where they're like, "Oh yeah, we hear you," but like, yeah, that was just. I was surprised when we're all BronyCon. Oh, by the way, we have LARPers coming up next, and it's like, what? Oh, okay. And then they played Stacy's mom.
Yeah, like a parody of it, but it was like talking about BronyCon.
I'm in love with BronyCon. Like that.
I think that would have been a better like intro for the con.
Yeah.
But like I was hoping for something a bit more sentimental music, done
Like Brony Rage.
off the scene. I was going through my phone, my friend. I was looking through the Slam Jam remix of that. I was looking for it. Like I was looking for it.
Yeah, no, they like I did because I was cracking up too at because I'm like, man, we've talked about this, Paleo's posted multiple songs like if they play this at BronyCon, I'm done.
Yes, yeah.
And they had the opportunity, but this is what I told everyone. I'm like, maybe they purposely didn't leave everybody crying because they're like, okay, now everyone has to get out.
Yeah.
Go. Get out.
Possibly. And that's fine. I mean, maybe again, like I think it's very easy for a lot of us to think that because we're thinking it, it's common knowledge. So maybe they missed it.
We'll play 10 minutes of credits though.
Yeah.
I was hoping for like "Off to See the World" song or "Best Friends at the End of Time" or some shit like that. But
Baby's
whatever.
Got Back.
Baby's Got Back. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. You know,
Good.
something.
The Rocket Man version.
John Jacob Jingleheimer. John Jacob.
But yeah, so I want to bring up something that those that were at the convention probably saw, or hopefully saw, I should say. So first off, the biggest thing, like I guess you could say, our biggest baby going into this weekend was the Who's Line show, and we actually had
Y'all knocked it out of the park, is what you did.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
Thank you. We had Silver Quill up there with what we call our original four, being Bevids, of course, Gabe, Saber, myself, and instead of this was a throwback, having Final Draft hosting up there, but then also having Dusty up there working with them. That I thought went great.
That was amazing.
And
yeah,
then
Dusty's always great.
yeah, and then we had Gabe's brother Nate, or Basic, playing up there with Matt, also known as DB Pony, and it just, like, I've been going back and listening to just different segments of it, and it was, I'm just like, holy crap, that was the show that we wanted it to end on, and you know, like, the thing is, and I'm gonna point this out probably when I post it, but for those that were at the show probably know this, but they actually had to cap main events on Friday for us because there were just too many people in line. We had a completely full show, and that in itself is just amazing. So thank you everyone for coming out. But for those that were there and those that don't, I'll be a little vague. But there's a part where somebody comes on stage near the end, and I started singing about this individual. And I had no idea. We had no idea that he was even in the room.
I wanted to let you all know that, like, Whose Line means a lot to me, and I was hoping to have a moment at the end where I could get on stage and be like, guys, thank you so much for being part of this journey. Like, I was so happy, but I couldn't because I had marshmallow fluff that decided to seal my eyelids shut. So I couldn't even see. I was legitimately crying. My eyes were hurting.
His
from
eyes were
sugar.
so red afterwards. Oh my gosh, it was.
I was in pain.
I've
It was
never
terrible.
seen, like, literally, I was like, are you okay? Like, you were losing
No,
sight.
I wasn't. It was a fucking whirl. It was a hurricane of emotion and of, we gotta get a beautiful song going. I'm like, okay, go. Da 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 da. In the song, my eyesight is going. I might go blind. And then at the end, fuck me, dude. If not, I didn't get a chance to say anything because my eyes were shut. And
Is that why security was so concerned about you afterwards?
Larson running up on stage. Oh, look at me,
Marker,
Larson.
like a meat in the night.
So
I got a Sharpie. I'm gonna grab a marshmallow fluff container and hurl at the audience. Why not?
he
Why the
chucked
fuck
it.
not?
He chucked it.
He did.
So
He
the
really
thing is so the way this whole thing worked out was on Thursday night, Saber and Jax hosted a really awesome kind of like close-knit group party. There was a bunch of pizza and drinks and everything, and it was awesome. And
Infinity Pizza.
and we get a message from Mitch basically being like, you know, all he asked was what room. And so we, you know, we were hanging out with him a little bit the night before, and so we told him, we're like, dude, if you're not feeling like a wimp, show up to Who's Line. And he's like, the thing is, he had autographs at the exact same time, and he said, hey, if I could get away, I will. Well, the thing is, our show actually went over about maybe 8 to 10 minutes, I think, and because of us going over, the moment that Larson gets on stage is literally
Saber lost sight in his left eye.
He never stopped walking from autographs.
Yeah.
He wasn't
That was
waiting
literally
backstage.
when he showed up.
That was literally when he got on the stage. When I started singing about Larson, I had no clue that he was on stage, that he was backstage. I didn't think he was there. It was It was
He went straight from autographs across the stage into the ATM.
Yeah.
That's why he almost missed it. But no, like the timing of it, that was just beautiful. It was like perfect timing.
I wasn't expecting it because folks will go, it's Lars, fucking I feel a hand. Because mind you, again, I want to remind you, in my left eye, the marshmallow fluff was sealing it shut. I could see it was like fucking like here's the last I'll ever see of this beautiful world being closed slowly in my left eye. But hey, at least I got my
Marshmallow Man would be the end of all things, Saber.
That was a bad choice. I don't know why I just decided to go to the grocery store and go, I'm gonna buy marshmallow fluff because that's funny. So my left eye's sealing shut, and I'm like, well, at least I got my right eye. And then I see these fucking hot dog fingers come in with marshmallow fluff, smear them all on my right eyeball. And I'm like, well, that's it. I'm blind. I can't see anything.
No, he hit me pretty hard too. I don't, man. So yeah, I think in the future though, like whipped cream is just as funny and just as colorful, and it's easy to wash off and it doesn't burn.
Silver Quill, Gabe, and I are in the bathroom washing our bloodshot eyes. Like, oh, it's so much fun.
So while
you're dying,
while you guys were washing off, I stayed back because I didn't realize, it's weird. The marshmallow stuff, you almost, if it's not in your eyes, it's hard to tell where it is after it starts to dry. And I didn't realize I didn't even realize I had any on my face. And so I'm sitting here on my knees, scraping and rubbing all this marshmallow stuff off the ground, and then I turn and I look back and I'm like, I just wiped that spot. Where's the stuff coming from? It was literally dripping off my face. I was turning in like a clockwise motion, and I was leaving a marshmallow trail, and I'd come around and be like, there's still a circle. What's happening? And they finally, like, the people up there were like, no, seriously, like, go clean yourself. And I'm like, oh yeah, like there was marshmallow.
Go clean yourself up.
We like Saber got a tarp, and we were okay until Larson showed up.
Until Larson showed up, and he's like, hey, I'm Larson. I'm a giant man child. Hey, people who are handicapped in the audience, hope you can catch fucking marshmallow fluff. And I saw a guy in a wheelchair throw his arms up to shield himself from Larson hurling marshmallow fluff at him.
The glass jar full of liquid rarity.
Yeah, right. But at the end of the day, if we all can get through it and all survive, it makes for fun stories, and that's what makes life interesting.
I just love the fact that the Grand Galloping Gala, the most formal event of the convention, happened in that same room immediately after.
Yep. By the way, Dusty's in the chat. Shout out
Dusty
to Dusty.
Cat.
Hi, Dusty.
Yeah, no, I mean, and we did, like, for anyone wondering, we did stay back and make sure that stage was as clean, let's say as clean as we left it, sans a vacuum.
Songs.
Yeah, you guys were scouring that thing.
But yeah, we made sure to clean up. We stayed back. We didn't just leave a mess for the staff, because for us, like, we want to leave the stage as we showed up with it. So yeah. That being said, we also had I'm just gonna say the craziest Bronies React panel we've ever had, and that's gonna be posted here in the next couple days.
Yay.
That's just one that you'll just have to witness. But I did. That's where it hit me as far as the emotions. Like I got hit with it during that one, and I knew. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna cry during this panel.
I gotta be honest, Jeff. I expected you to cry, and so I was prepared for that. I wasn't got, and then I saw Hero crying, and that one got. That's when I started to break. I was like,
oh. It's a chain. Legit, Jackson and I talked about that. I didn't know you got. I didn't know.
I did get got. I'm good at covering it up, but I definitely got. My eyes were quite watery.
What I didn't, I'm a man. He's this soulless individual, which is not a man. Anyway, but I guess what Race said is like, for those of you who know me, you know I don't usually get that emotional, but right now, I am. I was like,
yeah, I know. It's like, oh my gosh, this man, the man with the smiles. and no tear ducts.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and actually,
as soon as you said that, I got, and then Jax looked
See,
at
actually,
me.
the marshmallow fluff, the marshmallow fluff dried up in his tear duct, so he was fine.
That's
Yeah.
right. And his eyes exploded 2 minutes later.
So you said, Hero, you looked at Jax.
No, like you got me, and then Jax looked at me. He's like, "Oh no, Hero, no." Then he got
No, man, no.
Apparently, Gabe also got somewhere in there.
Yeah. I saw you guys crying. I was like, no.
Paleo was in trouble, but then Saber was like,
Yeah, and then Saber leaned over to me and made a
And
joke.
kissed your ear.
"What are you laughing
Sorry,
at?"
I'm being reminded of that story that you told me of Saber that I laughed at for like 5 minutes.
So
straight.
Saber did lose it during this, but we'll get into that in a second. So,
Oh yeah, I want to hear about that.
so
That
so
was-
with the I can't believe you're laughing at him. This is why he didn't cry in front of people at the panel. No, so yeah, so when we got to the room, we got there really early actually, and it was maybe close to 45 minutes before the panel, and they had already closed off the line. And I had kind of prepared that, like, the thing is, and I don't know how many people realize this, every time Lauren Faust had a panel at this convention, except for Jackbox games, because I didn't see her listed on that one, but every time Lauren Faust
There's a story
was
for
on,
that too.
yeah, oh yeah,
I got a great story for that.
Gamer girl bathwater. Man, Lauren has a great opinion of you too, I'm sure.
I have a story. I do want to share it, but continue.
Okay. So every time Lauren had like a panel that she was announced on, we had a panel against it, and Brony's React was one of them. And so I had kind of just accepted, like, you know, we might have less people. I get it, you know, it's a Lauren Faust panel, you know, big deal. And when I got there and they said that the line had already been capped, I was like, are you serious? This early already? Like, holy crap. And then it didn't hit me until we were all kind of already sitting down waiting for the last few people to get in. We hadn't started the panel yet, but the last few people were sitting, and I just looked at this full room, and that's when, like, you know, my mind started just kind of like I just felt like that tug on my heart where, like, you actually feel like your eyes like go into instant water mode, and I was like, oh man, I am done at the end of this panel, because I knew I wanted to say something, and yeah, and I had just accepted. I'm like, I know I'm gonna lose it. I don't know when it's gonna hit me.
I mean, it's something a lot of us probably can't even 100% relate to, because that room is full of people that came to see something that you created. I mean, that's the only reason they would be there. It's not even like for Brony Palooza. Yeah, they're coming to see me do a show, but they were a lot of them were probably going to go anyway to see music. You know, for that, everyone in that room came because they know what Brony's React is.
And
because you made
and that's and you know, you just think, like, I was just sitting there and just kind of soaking it up, and that's when I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna, you know, like I said at the end of the panel, I said what I wanted to say, and I was kind of like wondering, like, oh god, I can't get too emotional to the point where people can't understand what I'm saying. I was really trying to hold it together, which obviously, like, and again, I didn't even notice that Hero was crying, but I will say I did have a camera facing the audience, so everyone will get to see Hero crying also.
You recorded for history for the rest of ever.
And then Jack's coming up. But so again, a lot of us had our emotions run. But so at the concert, when Gabe and his brother, would you call it released your album? Is that what we technically
Yeah,
say?
I mean, yeah, it wasn't the full-blown release we were hoping for, but yeah, we basically premiered a bunch of the songs from the new album, and one of them is called Better, and that's the one that we wrote really just for, you know, anybody struggling, because I mean, we all have moments like that, right? And most of my songs are very optimistic, and I like to keep them optimistic, but it's also important to acknowledge the hard times, not to pretend that they don't exist. And so I thought that was appropriate for BronyCon. But anyway, I'll stop there.
Well, so it's a beautiful song. I was I was actually on stage filming with you guys,
Yes.
And so I had left Saber backstage, and I knew that the next song that was coming up was Another End. And so I told Saber, hey, I'll come back over here. I'll get you from the stage. He and I will go up, and then if there is going to be any kind of like stage flood, like Nate will kind of dictate that, as opposed to me all of a sudden accidentally letting like everybody on, so to speak. And so I walk back there, and there's a spotlight right next to the stairs, right next to the stage entrance, and it shined right in my face right before I got to where Saber was. So I went blind for a few seconds, and then I got back there, and I expected to see Saber how I left him, and Saber, the emotions kind of got to you at that point, didn't they?
Yeah, I was. Laura and I were emotional. We were crying together because we were just like, we're gonna miss this, because like again, it's not over, but it will never be this big, which is a special feeling. And then like Rachel's like, come on stage and dance with me, you bastard.
Well, see, now the way you said this story now makes me look like an asshole for laughing.
Okay,
because
so
the way he described it to me was like,
whoa.
So I'll okay.
My
so
boyfriend was emotional.
So okay. So
Sarah's laughing at me,
why.
pointing at me.
Here's what you need to envision is that when I did see Saber, and again, Saber, I love you. But I had to do quick work because I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna be on stage and Saber looks like this. Was that like
his mascara was running?
Yeah, like basically his whole face was scrunched up in like a crying motion, and this is all I hear. Like all of a sudden the music goes quiet, and I hear. And I'm like, oh no, and I'm literally like trying to like prepare him for like battle, like we're gonna do this, we're gonna make this one count, and then we got on stage and it was all good. But yeah, Sarah, I didn't realize, Saber, that Sarah was like she loved this story.
I did, because again, you're not telling it the way you told it to me, because like it was just poetic the way he told it to me, and being like, so the light, cleared, my vision cleared, and I just see Saber just bawling and backstage, and Laura's like next to him, being like,
Laura was comforting you, and she turns to me and goes, he's crying.
Yes, that's right.
And all I'm doing is picturing Saber in his Spider-Man outfit, just like pulling backstage, while Laura's just like nonchalantly just being like, just let it out.
There's also the physical element to when you tell stories, Jeff, but you tend to act it out, and you did this beautiful, there was this visual that you provided of him like solemnly nodding and wiping tears while walking towards the stage, preparing to jump up and down and pump his fists.
I feel so bad. I think Saber.
Gonna get better.
But it was.
What panel was this during?
It was during the concert.
The concert. Okay.
We were about to get on stage, and Saber was again, and I get it, the emotions. Obviously, I had my bit during.
It was emotionally charged. It was. Gabe, your song spoke to me.
Yeah.
And I thought it was beautiful.
Thanks,
and I thought it was pretty stupid. And
yeah. No, that I feel terrible. I'm not making fun of you. It's actually very sweet, and it means a lot to me that my song could touch even my closest friends. I mean, that's a really, really amazing feeling, and it means that I did myself a service by getting emotional. I do try to keep like heavy stuff out of my songs because I'm actually not one to dwell on the melancholy and the bittersweet very much. I'm kind of a happy-go-lucky optimist most of the time, but there is a place for it, and I wanted to have at least one song that touched on that.
It's a good song. It is.
Thank you.
Though I have one question, and then I want to get into the Saber Lauren Faust story that we were discussing.
Yes.
Yes. So I remember when we were discussing, and this is kind of like I guess just kind of the general way that stage direction goes at times. Is sometimes sometimes it surprises you. Either it doesn't do what you expected, or it does something you're like, oh my god, that was perfect and not planned. And I remember we were discussing a drop in the song, and like oh, that'd be such a great like shot if you can like kind of get the crowd, and then because they had like, what was it, like a fog, not a fog machine, but like
they had jets,
smoke
jets on the
and so I did the pan like going like, oh, here it comes. And then they didn't do their thing, and I was like, oh. Oh man.
Yeah.
What is it? It was kind of interesting because we all got played a little bit because everyone's like, oh man, it's at closing ceremonies where everyone's gonna get got when they play the music. But what we didn't know is that everyone actually got at different times during the convention.
Yes.
Like, everyone got there, but not at the point.
No, absolutely. I think everyone expects it to happen in closing ceremony, so we're ready. We've built up the defenses. You know, we're like, it's not going to hit me here. And then it catches you off guard. It's like, oh yeah, let's go to Brony's React, and it's like,
yeah. A number of us got hit at the Brony's React panel. For those that didn't, like Saber, it hit him at the concert. Like you said, because I know it obviously hit Laura during closing ceremonies. And again, like for a lot of us, it's because I know Sarah's sitting next to me going like, well, I mean, yeah, but for those of us,
it didn't get me.
But for those of us that have had the relationship with this convention for years, that's where I think it gets a lot of us. Like Gabe, this was your first convention that you ever went to back in 2013.
It was.
I remember this convention. While it wasn't the first one I ever went to, it was the first one that made me want to go to conventions because I was watching it. I was watching live stream from 2012 and EQI's interviewing Jax Blade, and I'm just sitting here going like, I want to go to a convention. I want to go to BronyCon, and I promised myself I'd never miss another BronyCon, and there it is. So Saber, speaking of #BronyCon moments, we had an interesting one because we did Jackbox on Sunday morning. We didn't know at the time, but Lauren Faust ended up also being on the panel.
Man, what a weird panel. Because I remember like sitting down with you and Gabe, you were on there, Minty Root, and then I forget who the other person was.
Horizon.
Horizon.
Okay, cool.
And then Kathy and Michelle. So the tension was set, where we're all sitting on stage. I don't think many of us knew what was happening. We're just kind of let's wing it, especially for Kathy and Michelle and Lauren, because I don't think they've played Quiplash before. Well, of course, yeah.
So I'm sitting there next to Kathy, and I'm not ragging on Kathy, but I think she was already throwing up some barriers of like why this won't go as planned for her. Like I overheard her leading over to Michelle and Lauren, being like, "Well, this audience is mostly guys, so they're going to go for the poo-poo jokes." Which, like,
oh my gosh!
Immediately right after one of her smart jokes won around quite handedly, and I'm like, "Well, there you go. Like, come on, like, fucking." That kind of bothered me. I'm like, really? Like,
hey man, if you just
7 years after defying gender norms, and now's the time where you think
no. Yeah, okay. Now I'm not gonna make that joke. Never mind. Keep going.
But if the music rock and roll is loud enough, this ice will be angry. But but whatever. All right. So it was so during the panel.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, kinda like for real. It's like you've been in this for 7 years, and you're like, what?
I mean, maybe it was just,
you're right.
Maybe it was nervous. I like Kathy a lot. Maybe it was just nervousness because Lord knows I was about to show my own. So,
might have been a joke too. Like,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Whatever.
Never mind.
I feel like Gabe's got something to say.
I don't.
Whatever.
I don't.
No, you and Kathy are good friends.
Yes. Well, I lived in Vancouver for 2 years, and there is definitely an air of
Of what?
I'm gonna use the word prestige because it's the nicest word that is
I was gonna
sort
say
of. Yeah, okay, that's actually the actual
you,
word.
Paleo.
Or
What was Paleo's word?
superiority. I don't know. There's just kind of a vibe that I got from a lot of people up there. That's just kind of like, oh, but we know we're better than everyone else. And
Yeah. We're
jokes.
better educated. No, I think the Canadians have some dirty humor.
Yeah, but it's not just Vancouver. It's the whole industry up there is
Yes.
kind of it's a very Hollywood.
For the record, I want to make it abundantly clear that in no way, shape, or form are we dragging Kathy. We love her.
No, because I love them, but they're from a different culture and a different
Yes.
world. It really is. That's just kind of the vibe that I got when I was up there. It's a little intimidating because there's just kind of the
Yeah. Well, they're more.
Exactly. You guys know what I mean. I don't have to say anything.
Well, a lot of us are average Joes. Like we don't come from like upper class. We're from middle class, if even that. And
they know it,
and they won't let us forget it.
No, they won't.
Nah. Well, they're sitting next to this sniff you suburban bastard.
No, but the thing is, it is their culture. It is the world that they're used to. They are very loving and caring people for the most part that I've met. And Kathy she's one of the sweetest people ever, but she also has just kind of a preconceived opinion that she goes into things with, as a lot of them do, based on the lifestyle that they have.
And I'm sure we do the same thing to them. I'm sure there's things that they can go from their perspective. They're like, that's weird.
They probably enjoyed the new Lion King movie.
Oh, bastards! Disgusting. But let's get things moving along. Are we even going to try and attempt Q&A?
We'll do a small version of it, but I'm still
all right,
waiting
I'll
to
wrap
hear.
this up so we move things along. So yeah, sitting down. First round went well. Second round, okay, cool. I'm feeling good. All right, one of the prompts was what would you want to fill a fucking pool with? And I'm like, oh shit, I don't know, Jello pudding. Oh my god, it's a meme right now. Gamer girl bathwater.
I'm trying to remember because like I don't want to just leave you to be the only one thrown under this bus because
you're a host of the panel. Don't worry about it. I'll take responsibility.
Well, I was gonna say, but I suggested the gamer girl water because you had something else in it.
Whatever. So we entered that in, and then immediately after, one was like, "What would you want? What's another use for uncooked spaghetti noodles?" I'm like, "Rectal exams." And
that one was all you. That one was all
so mind you, when
stuck a feather in his butt and called him macaroni.
Exactly. Now turn and cough, please. But so it came up where it's like, what's a thing that you would want to fill a pool with? Option 1, whatever. Option 2, gamer girl bathwater. On here, Michelle, Lauren, and Kathy go, ooh, that's not cool. That's bad. That's no good. And I feel my chest tightening where I'm like, come on, Stephen, you gotta think of an out for this. And I turn to them and I'm like, you see, I know it's not good because I'm testing the audience. If they vote for it, it'll prove that they're a bunch of deviant fucks. So I like threw the audience under the bus. Because what happened is they did vote for it. And I was like, you see, thesis proven. Like,
and they should have stood up and said, "How dare you all? That was a test, and you
how
failed."
dare you?" Which I was thinking like, haha, Steven, you got away with this. To which immediately after, what's a use for uncooked spaghetti noodles? And I'm like, well, I'm fucked. Rectal exams.
But then Lauren Faust comes like, what's the best prize to get out of a Cracker Jack box? Lauren Faust is like, crack.
Yeah.
Crack.
And the sad part was she didn't win because the other person put M.A. Larson.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that
M.A.
is
Larson's
a
an
win all.
auto win.
You just got to use him once, but he's the dang it, how's Uno played? He's the wild card, the trump card. Yeah. Oh, Trump is also a trump card.
Trump is also a trump card.
By the way,
so that
go
was
on.
fun.
That's good marketing.
Yeah. So I just want to mention real quick, Zootopia News Network sent us a super chat saying y'all are awesome and it was awesome to meet ya.
Yay!
Of course, I was excited to see the.
You got a super chat from Nora as
Andy.
well.
Nora says, "Ow! My question is for all y'all." Oh, we'll get to this question in a second. So we'll open it up with Nora's Q&A. But just to finish it off, again, we get more in depth with our kind of final thoughts and everything in the vlog as far as BronyCon. But as far as I say that was everything I hoped for this weekend. It
Agreed.
went amazing.
Yeah.
It was a great week.
It really was.
Well, weekend.
So good work, everybody. Good.
I'm really glad we
been
did
to
it.
one. I've never been to BronyCon before, but it was
You
quite
feel it,
fun.
don't you?
Twas good.
It was good.
We're there for the Semi-Perfect Podcast panel. If you were in line to ask a question and didn't get the chance, now's your time.
Oh, did we have to cut that one off?
Yeah.
Dang, we're crazy. So we're gonna do 10 minutes of Q&A. We'll end this at 8:15 Pacific time. And yeah, again, a big thank you to everybody coming out. So Nora sent us a super chat, and it is the first question of the night, asking, "Ow, my question is for all y'all. Since my head is all stitched up from my own dumbness, what is the craziest injury you got? Oh, and miss you, Gabe."
Who's Nora?
She's
I'm kidding.
from.
By the way, Nora, yeah, I heard about that injury. That really sucks. And I have so many answers to that question.
Yeah, you do.
I'd say the craziest injury was probably when I broke my femur, just because of the whole situation, falling off the cliff and then having to be pulled out of the water before the tide drowned me. And
What's your life?
Yep.
I know this story. This is why
Yeah.
I'm laughing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and my it was a compound fracture, so my knee was compressed, way higher than it should have been, and then they pulled my
Gabe,
knee,
you're wild,
my
bro.
foot
You
past the
wild.
other foot, and they didn't get morphine into me when they did that, so I actually passed out from the pain, and then I had to wait for 3 days in a medically induced coma so that they could make the rod, because they had to custom make the rod to fit into my leg, and then I had to have it removed 6 months later because I was still growing. That was my craziest 6-month injury experience, but I have injured my head a number of times. So Nora, my question for you is, did you get stitches or staples?
Oh, while she answers that, Sarah, what's your craziest injury?
I honestly, I have not really seriously injured myself.
Knock on wood. Good.
The worst injury I've ever had is a hairline fracture in my my left foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My worst injury involved me riding a bike, and I was maybe 8 years old, 10 years old. I don't know. I was right around there. And I was camping, and my parents went off and had their anniversary dinner, and my uncle was staying back at the campsite to watch me. And I'm like, I want to ride my bike. And my uncle's like, no, you can't ride your bike right now. There, no one's around. I gotta watch you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, uncle. I don't know what kind of adult you think you are, but I'm gonna have fun. And I went and rode my bike, and the biggest thing of karma hit me in the face, literally, because there was it was weird because I was riding my bike and I saw like there was a pothole in the ground, and I instead of avoiding it, I decided to just go for it, and I hit it, and I did a complete, I'm wearing a helmet, but I did a complete flip and went face first into the pavement. And I just remember sitting there with my face like squished against the ground and seeing another camper from a distance kind of like, "Are you all right?" and start walking towards me. And that's about the time I don't remember anything else. And I just remember everybody coming. So we were there like a little bit before a lot of family got there, and everyone came in to see me, and I had the biggest fat lip, and I felt like I was on my deathbed. Like everybody was coming in and like holding my hand and being like, "You're a dumbass," and then leaving.
That's what people say to me on my deathbed.
At least he kept it honest.
Anybody
I
else?
was wakeboarding, which is something that I used to do.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Dude, I
so
love it.
much fun.
It is. I miss it. Oh my god.
I miss it too. I can't do it anymore. My friend with the boat moved to California. But anyways, when I was wakeboarding, I took a fall because that's what you eventually do every time. And one such fall, for some stupid reason, I guess my top, like the top of my mouth was like wrapped around my bottom lip or something. So like my teeth were like on the outside of my lip and my bottom teeth were on the inside.
That's
of my
not
lip.
okay.
And I bit
That's not okay.
right through my lip. I'm sure no one's looking really intensely at my mouth or anything, but the scar is still there.
No, I've noticed every time I look at you.
Biting straight through your lip. What's interesting is the adrenaline makes it so that it didn't hurt at first. But I was like, "Whoa, something went wrong," and then I got up out of the water. I was like, "Oh, cool." I can see straight through my lip. That's great. That's wonderful.
So well happened to me too. I tripped my bottom teeth, went through my bottom lip. I have a scar to this day.
Really?
Right.
Race,
Huh.
Race, you've heard stories. Barbecue story or car wash story?
Oh god. Car wash.
All right, so I was on the mock trial team in high school, and we were doing a fundraising car wash because that's what you do in mock trial. It's great. I got in a water fight with one of the other girls there. I had the hose. She had a sponge. You'd think I would have won. But my legs can hyperextend, meaning they can go back past vertical. It doesn't hurt, but it really relaxes the tendons that hold the kneecap in place.
Never mind, I don't like this funny thing.
Oh, you don't want to hear about how I dislocated by turning to avoid the water, slipping and falling straight down. Rotated my kneecap 90 degrees. It was.
All right, moving on.
You're welcome.
Rapid Sparks sent us a super chat question. Q&A time. What's the funniest? Okay, this will be fun. What's the funniest joke you have made that none of your friends thought was funny as you thought it was? I'll tell mine.
Sure.
I was on Who's Line.
Most of the words that come out of my mouth, frankly.
I was on Who's Line, and I was trying to recreate the scene from Spaceballs, where Darth Helmet is playing with his dolls and going like, "Oh no, Darth Helmet, don't kiss me!" And so I got up and I was like, "This is Luna, Celestia. This is the dark side." And I
Thanks does that a lot. Here, Gabe, you'll get a kick out of this. So during Helping Hands, because Gabe was on stage acting with Race and me, Race is digging through the bag of stuff, and there's a pie tin, and I think Gabe, you said something about like take good care of the pie tin. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I hope he does, because it's the only one we have. Please don't destroy it, because that will just make it so we can't have the final gag. And as soon as you were like, take good care of it, Race grabs it and slams on the table, and you see all of the pie crust shatter at once and shoot up in the air, and the metal tin crack down the middle, right through the middle. And I'm like, well, fuck! Like, that's one of those integral parts of our gags. And this is the timing of Gabe. Be careful with it. Fuck! You see it break right down the middle. That killed me.
That cut my chin when Ray smashed the pie in my face. That little broken.
I actually drew
for
blood.
safety reasons.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Anyone else have a joke that they told and didn't go well?
I've had many, and I don't remember any of them because I usually repress them, because the feeling of telling a joke that you think is funny, then no one laughs, is worse than breaking your leg, and I would know.
Do you all want to hear one of the worst ones from when I was a kid?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh no.
Brace yourselves. This one to this day haunts me. So I was in middle school, and there was a girl in my class named Jasmine, and she was black, and which is integral to the story. I will explain why. So you'll learn from how stupid I am. So I remember like hanging around again. Like I can't explain enough how fucking awkward I was. Like I know I am now, but like to the nth degree was I awkward in middle school. And I remember sitting in class, and there was a stupid thing about how if you have a black line running down the middle of your tongue, that means you're lying. So my classmates are trying to test this out by telling lies, and there's a black line running down the middle of your tongue, you're lying. Which I'm like, okay, I don't know if that's a thing. Do our tongues have black lines? I don't know. And I thought it would be hilarious to kick this joke up a notch. And I'm like, Jasmine, let me do it with you. And she holds her tongue out. I'm like, oh, you're black. And then I walk away. And I'm like, wow, Steven, that was a hilarious joke. I'm going to be the funniest kid in school. And I immediately felt just disgusted afterward. Where I'm like, wow, that was a terrible joke. Why did I have my mouth? Someone kill me. to this day, I wake up in bed and I'm like, oh my god, that was like that was awful. What was I thinking?
So our next super chat question is from Impus. How do you say the last part? Tridism?
Guys, I'm sorry, but I might actually have to leave really quick here.
It's okay, Gabe.
No problem.
It's okay. The show's about to end anyways, but the question being, did you guys watch the OKKO Let's Be Heroes Sonic the Hedgehog crossover? If so, what did you think?
I haven't watched it yet. I want to.
Was that a spoiler?
No,
Oh,
it's not
okay.
a spoiler. It was heavily promoted and
Okay.
everything.
Yeah, heavily promoted.
Has anyone seen it?
I haven't seen it yet, but it
Okay.
looks really good.
I've seen clips from it, and like the animation, they really went all out with like Sonic and like making it really cool. Like there was a segment where like he's doing his running thing, and he's like going around on, like kind of like in the original Sonic game where there's just all these like loops and all that stuff.
So I'm sorry, I just have to interject really quickly
Okay.
here. Did I cut you off?
No. It's
Okay. I just now noticed that the person. So for anyone that watched my Comic-Con vlog, there was an individual who added me on Twitter by the name of Curtis Fletcher, and it created.
He
this...
wanted me to ask you about the Pennywise
Yeah,
incident.
yeah. Well, I told that story the last time I think
Yeah.
on the last podcast,
Yeah.
but it's just funny seeing Curtis.
Yeah, but I wasn't here.
Oh, well, I'll catch you back up since we're just now finishing up the podcast. 2 more super chat questions, or do we have another one that just snuck in?
Another one.
Oh my god! So
I gotta stop doing your tangents.
I know we love talking. Okay, Britfields is asking, what cons are you looking forward to now that BronyCon has ended? What are some of your favorite small cons?
Any I get invited to. Any convention that invites me,
same.
I am excited to go to.
I love CyberFest. It's got cheese
Yeah,
curds.
it's
I
gonna
want
be
to
in
go.
November.
Charlie, if you're listening, invite us. We'll go and dance.
Charlie is amazing. Please invite me.
Yeah, Ciderfest, Winnie City,
Everfree, BabsCon.
Everfree, BabsCon.
MomoCon.
We've had incredible. Yeah, that's a small con. No, but we've had incredible relationships with those 4 conventions, and certainly hope to see them. Everfree, by the way, I was just seeing pictures earlier today about their venue, and that venue looks pretty like amazing. So
Where are they gonna be?
Seattle,
Baltimore.
Yeah,
to
shocker
cons,
there.
It's
Hey.
easy to fly into. 'Cause I have to pay money.
There you go.
BabsCon's an easy one. It's like right across the street. Most of these cons are like close
Yeah.
to the airports.
Yeah. Seattle's good too because you could just take a shuttle. So.
You can walk there basically. All right, let's close things out.
All right. Well, we ain't done yet. Ryan Walderson sent us a super chat asking, since I've been helping out Jim with his Every Show Ever videos, what's a network blocker studio you'd want us to do next?
Paleo.
Paleo.
Let's see. So far, he's done like Hanna-Barbera, Kids WB, and the Deke shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
PBS.
PBS. Yeah, PBS shows. Yeah.
I
That'd
guess,
be interesting. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. All right. We're going to end it on this one. Super chat from Draco Eris asking, hey, all, what is your favorite episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic? Go.
I think the one I said was my favorite. Fuck, what was?
Tyrek finale.
Yeah.
Tyrek finale.
We literally had this discussion at BronyCon.
I know, and I don't
Unrecorded,
remember
but
what
we
the fuck I
did.
answered. What was it?
You just have so many.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah, I forgot what you said too. Dang it.
I mean, for me, it's episode 1, just because it laid down all the potential for the show. You could really feel it developing there for me.
Sarah's sitting here so confused. Have you watched the show?
I remember it was an episode that caught me off guard too. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I can't remember.
So
What's the
was it-
season 2 finale?
I like the Discord
No.
episode and the.
Actually, I'll take that back. Episode 100.
that was good. Go Mitt.
Oh, the Kieran
Yes.
episode.
That's right.
The
Yes,
Sounds of Silence.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Sarah liked it because I talk a lot.
No, I just feel like it was a good message.
All right, we made it to the
Good
end.
song too.
Sarah, we need to
Whoa!
thank.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait.
What?
Excuse you. I want to say what my favorite.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tell
me.
It's the Applejack's parents episode easily. Like nothing
Oh,
can
yeah,
close.
perfect.
Good choice.
I remember watching that and I was just like, this is the best episode of the show, easily done. That's it.
I wouldn't go that far. That was good.
For me.
No, I wouldn't even say that. No, I'm joking.
Your opinion
I
is
wouldn't
not
go that
correct.
All right, well, we need to thank
That's not correct.
all. That is not correct.
All right, good night, everybody.
Wait,
got-
time
Good
out,
night,
you son of a bitch.
We gotta thank all our super chatters. We got a lot
Jesus.
today, and we really appreciate it. We've got Exio Dying, Rapid Sparks, Mext, Missy, Stone, Jack Splade, Britt Fields, Zootopia News Network. Thank you, Nora Mermaid. We've got Impus Tradissim, Ryan Walterson, Draco Eris.
All right, folks, we'll be back in 2
I
weeks.
want to plug something real quick.
Oh, plug it.
Yes.
Fuck.
Oh, next week is the 100th episode of the POS podcast on my channel. Be sure to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of people on.
Yep.
Awesome.
And
Great.
oh, by the way, this was also the Alicon preview show. So I'm going to Australia, and hopefully I see people in Adelaide, Australia. I'll be recapping it on the next show. It's insane to me that I'm
Watch
going to
out for
Australia.
spiders.
Oh God! All right. Well, thank you all so much for everything,
And
all of
for
our live
of you
viewers.
that caught up to us at BronyCon, it was great to meet y'all.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
good
You
seeing
too, man.
everybody.
Good seeing everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. That's
Bye.
August 21st.
Damn ponies.
Good night, everybody.
The ponies are over.